We're here. We're Israeli free. And it's time to start the show. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mark Summers, Major Linux, twitch.tv/Major Linux, and it's time once again for the, wrong show. Tech Talk Thursdays. Of course, I'm joined this week and every week by Kevin Kev. It's your boy Kev in the building.
What's good, everyone? This is a liquid death.
And that is some crisp sounding audio.
Yeah, it is.
For those who, obviously nobody knows because this was happening before the show. Yeah, had a bit of audio issues. First, before Kev showed up, I was having a camera issue, which definitely sent me down a spiral. But then when Kev showed up, having an audio issue, I was like, "Yep, fuck it. This is going to be one of the worst shows I'll ever produce." Like, for minor inconveniences, one of the worst shows that I will ever produce.
And then Major said, "This is a Discord issue," and I'm like, "Hang on." Click two settings, and it was like, "How about now?"
It's a beautiful morning.
I can hear clearly now. The rain is gone, and it was like, oh,
like the color returned to my face.
Mm-hmm. It was
just faded back in.
Mm-hmm.
It was like before and after the Twister in where's it, of Oz. I saw the yellow brick road.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
Indeed.
It was great. I was deeply concerned because, look, this may not be the best podcast on the internet, but motherfucker, I will try to make it as technically proficient as I can.
Indeed.
It is not the best. This may not be the best quality podcast, but it will be technically proficient.
It will be.
If I don't promise you anything, look, we ain't fucking around when it comes to the tech.
One thing for two things for certain. It's gonna be damn bespoke.
Yes.
Believe that.
Yes. May not be the content. It may not be the content you are looking for.
Yep.
But damn, it's gonna look immaculate. It's gonna sound immaculate.
It's gonna be bespoke like a mother.
Eventually, we're gonna get Video Ninja into this workflow because I don't know, somewhat tired of messing with Discord in such a way because, as you can see, we are down a host today.
Yep.
But not for bad reasons. Sin is recording dope shit. Somewhere, I think I've seen some of it. I don't know. Something was posted on social media. I'm not sure if that's related. Who knows? I don't know. They're out doing dope shit. And like, hey, you go do that. Hold it down.
Yeah.
We will hold it down here.
Yeah.
Also do want to mention, today is Nakba Day. Of course, if you have not heard of Al Nakba in Arabic means a catastrophe. On May 15, 1948, the illegal settler colonial state known as Israel began forcibly removing over 700,000 Palestinians from their homes, and forcing them to resettle in concentration camps before they were pushed off to the fringes of what is currently historic Palestine. So definitely, this has been 77 years since Al-Nakba. And a great deal of people, especially what's happening now in historic Palestine, saying that the Nakba has not ended. It has never ended. It has been going on for 77 years. So definitely want to give our honor to all of our martyrs that we have lost in those 77 years, free all of our political prisoners, and free Palestine. Want to get that out. Make sure that is at the top. It's at the top of the show.
Yep.
Before y'all turn away. Look, 10 toes down for Palestine over here. Stand on business. All right. How do you transition from that? Oh, outside the fact that one, again, Stream Elements gone from this channel. If you see Stream Elements anywhere on this channel, you need to let me know. I may have missed it. I spent a good deal of time last night poking shit out, redoing things. This show didn't change much though, because none of this was browser, like barely any of this is browser based. Everything is locally run. Whereas the personal Major Linux stream assets, a lot of that stuff was coming from the cloud. It was using Stream Elements to do a lot of that because it was easier to implement the scene package that I had bought through Stream Elements. So all that's been stripped out. Everything should be locally run on the Major Linux assets. Excuse me, except for like chat and alerts, which like those are browser sources. There's always been about browser sources. Yeah, that's all running on Streamlabs now. So we're back on Streamlabs, given, you know, the problematic nature of Streamlabs. However, shout out to Gilded and their partner, Mended Pearl. I found out about what I think is another locally hosted stream bot called streamer.bot. I might give that a try because it seems like it's locally hosted. Of course, I got involved in this Streamlab shit because of a program called AnkBot from years ago.
Yeah.
Which was a locally run application that you can use for chat and a lot of the stuff that you build into streams. But AnkBot, huh?
I remember AnkBot.
Yep, got sold to Streamlabs.
Yep.
And then that became shitified, and then it disappeared. But yeah, our streaming bot here is self-hosted. Yeah, shout out to Phantom Bot. Phantom Bot, that's what we use. That's what I use for my Twitch bot here. You know, self-hosted because, you know, that's what we do. We don't like to rely on companies if we don't have to. It's the power of the open source. But yeah, in today's news, Kev, AI's been fucking up, man.
Data ends with Y, man.
AI's been fucking up. Have you heard about this white genocide? It's almost as if somebody's trying to tell us something.
Grok is trying to tell you something. Bro. Oh gosh, when you brought that up, I was like, oh god, I've seen like 3 videos, and I've seen a couple of entries on the Hellscape app about it, and I was like, I cackled. I know what you talk about, that white genocide.
Yeah, like, look, I mean, that elephant's fake, but about this white genocide though.
Oh god, bro.
Look, those stats check out, but again, about this white genocide.
Grok, we cook. I mean, kinda, but that white genocide though.
How many times is HBO Max gonna change their name? But this white genocide though.
Boy,
somebody trying to tell you something. Yeah,
brother. Oh boy.
More union news in the gaming space, which is always a good. In these terms, it's a good thing. And we may not be getting Waffle House and Tekken, but it does not stop there. Mm-hmm. There may be hope yet for a restaurant themed fighting stage.
The fact that they just didn't. The fact that they were like, we're not answering the phone calls is the most Waffle House thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, bruh. But anyway.
Just answer the phone, please.
It's like, brother, answer, Mr. Waffle House, answer the phone.
Mr. Telephone Man.
There's something wrong with my life. Oh, man.
All that and much, much more on this week's episode of Tech Talk Thursday, starting with, hey, if you use Siri in between 2019, those years are wrong. 2014 and 2024, which seems like, I think September 7th, 2014 was when Siri was first released to the public.
So just in general.
Yeah, so if you've used Siri on an Apple device between its inception and the end of last year, you might be entitled to some compensation.
I did have a 4S, so
you might be entitled to some. Well, you also have an iPad, right?
Yeah, I got 9th gen, so.
Did you buy that iPad last year?
Oh, I didn't. Well, I think, no, not last year.
Was it this year?
No, it wasn't this year.
Then you are entitled for compensation. Like, the cutoff is December 31st, 2024.
Oh, I'm it.
Yeah, that's literally everyone.
I'm it.
Like, unless you were just staunchly anti-Apple, which there are people, yes.
Which I wasn't,
but yeah, between September 17th, 2014 and December 31st, 2024, you were entitled for some compensation. And so I didn't know this, but hey, your boy might be getting $100. Because you to file a claim, you need to have bought an iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, MacBook, iMac, HomePod, iPod Touch, or Apple TV between September 17, 2014 and December 31st, 2024, and believe Siri accidentally activated on your, just like now, but then again, I said her name or its name, and but yeah, there we go. And believe that it accidentally activated on your device during a private conversation. From the $95 million Apple is paying out, you can receive up to $20 per device you believe called up the service, provided you swear under oath it happened. I can tell you right now, in the year of our Lord 2025, it still happens because it literally just did.
They might, I'd be like, I think the amount of Apple devices that you have, my brother, I think Tim Apple should give you the check himself. Like,
no, there are more people. There are people way out there than me, but sure. Like, they were talking about, like, between 2014 and now. So, all right, you have to, so they give you a limit of up to 5 devices, right? Mm-hmm. I have more than 5 now that I own in 2024.
Yeah.
Technically. I think I'm short 2 because, as you correctly pointed out last week, from doing what I do and not what I say, exactly, I had upgraded 2 devices.
I believe the term I used was talking cash shit.
Shut up. I had an iPhone 14 Pro, iPad Pro M1, MacBook Pro, Mac Mini, Well, granted, a Mac Mini is not listed here because it doesn't have. Oh no, the Mac Mini doesn't have a microphone. I don't think so. I don't think it will work. But so I won't count that one. But all right, iPhone, iPad, MacBook, Apple Watch. I think I own 5 Apple TVs alone. There's one in every room of the house. Also, I counted the Mac Studio by accident. The Mac Studio also, I don't think has a microphone. But again, if it's from 2014 to 2024, in that span of time, in that 10 years, I have had at least 5 devices that would have had Siri built into it.
Yeah.
And we could go count them, but yeah, we're not going to do that. But yeah, so you could claim up to 5 devices. So yeah, I'm going to get hopefully I'll get $100. You have until July 2nd, 2025 to file your claim. If you qualify for the settlement, you may have already been notified with information on your claim identification number and claim confirmation code. If you haven't received either but believe the settlement applies, you're free to submit a claim of your own. If you were doing it manually, you have to provide the serial numbers or proof of purchase, which will be difficult for people who may not own those devices. Which is I was going to do it manually until it asked for serial numbers. I don't own the devices that probably would go for this. I can't put my 16 Pro in there because I'm pretty sure they can go track that and see, oh, you bought this in January of 2025. What are you doing? But yeah, I waited a bit because normally I get notified of these things if I am in the loss, if I'm covered. And yeah, sure enough, a week later, I got an email saying, hey, you can file your claim now. Here's your information. I was like, cool, thanks. And yeah, once I do that, I was like, how many, your name, your address, how many devices did you own, and how would you like to receive your money? It didn't even ask for serial numbers. Okay, cool. I will tell you 5. You sure you don't want to verify that?
I would like.
I mean, look, I will give you numbers. I think I have them.
I'll give you a smooth 3. I'll give you a smooth 2. I got you.
I forgot. I got the HomePod Mini. Between HomePods and Mac and Apple TVs, man, I got you covered, dog. This Apple Watch doesn't get updates, but it still got, it has Siri on it. I've turned it off because I'm about tired of when I lift it up, it wants to try to listen, or if I bend my wrist in a way, it pushes the button and it activates it. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Damn.
So I had to turn it off because also Siri is just slow on the Apple Watch. I have never had a good experience with Siri on the Apple Watch.
You think you'll have the Dick Tracy experience where you'll just tap on your phone and be I'll tap on your Apple Watch and be like, Siri, what the weather look like? And you have that, but it's technology's not there yet.
But with Dick Tracy, it wasn't so much having the assistant on your watch as much as it was just making the phone call.
Right, it's just communicating.
Yeah, and that does work very well. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Being able to just not be near a phone and answer the phone call is great. Voice dictation on it is pretty decent. It's just this lag in communication between you and Siri. Yeah, that's the problem with the Apple Watch. And I'm just stop. And it's it's worse. It doesn't matter as much now because I don't have as many lights to turn on.
Right.
With Siri in this house because we have all this recessed lighting and I can't get up there to change the bulbs. Like, I don't know what I will do if the light bulbs die. I don't know how to change these bulbs.
You're just gonna have to call electrician.
Like, that's what I'm really fucking afraid of. Like, I don't know how to change recessed lighting in this house. Like, how do I? Why? Who? I didn't ask for this. I had so many Philips Hue bulbs. I had to leave at the old house because I didn't need them anymore. The fucked up thing is I left them there, but I never left the hub. So I have no idea what that family is doing with those funky ass light bulbs, man. Because they still work as regular lights. Like the bulbs will still work, but I don't know how it'll function if like a power outage happens and the power comes back on and all of a sudden like they just all activate for no reason. Like I don't know. They'll figure it out. I'm sure they figured it out, or they have changed the bulbs.
It's literally like you broke that down like the story, like you literally broke that down like the story of Anthem, where it's like this planet. Oh, these aliens left these like planet building power tools, and they left them plugged in, and sometimes they turn on, and we got to deal with that. But I guess they figured we just figure it out and turn it off ourselves, and we have it. So it's just like, oh. Just like leaving a bunch of power tools in front of toddlers. And
you mean like Mass Effect, Halo, Bungie? Yeah. No, I'm sorry, like, Destiny. Yeah. But yes, Bungie, because literally Halo and Destiny.
Yeah, but it's literally like, hey guys, we're gonna use this thing to build this planet, and we just left them turned on, and we don't know, and we just dipped. It's like with Mass Effect, it's like the mass relays, and I'm like, how does the mass relays work? No, you just point them in the direction, and that's where we go. But yeah, just hope they don't break, though.
What was it? Monster Hunter Wilds.
Oh yeah.
You turn on that furnace. Oh shit! We should have done that.
Yeah, because we didn't understand that everything was interconnected. We didn't understand that everything was hooked up to the Dragon Torch.
Yeah. But eventually they'll figure it out, right?
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
I like to believe that they figured it out. Or like if they change the bulb, like they pulled out, well, I don't know. I mean, because a lot of the newer bulbs that come out look like the Philips Hue bulbs.
Yeah.
So it's like, they may look at, oh, this must be a brand of light bulb and not like, oh, these are smart bulbs. We could do something with this and we'll probably throw them away. Also, now that I think about it, I hope that it's not like a sophisticated fucking hack that you can do. And there's no way to protect themselves from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What have I done?
I just left like a couple of listening posts on.
I mean, there's no hub. Like, I don't know what you can do with a whole bunch of Philips Hue bulbs without a hub. And it's not like it's not like these. Well, I don't even think these lights behind me will work without the hub. Like there's the light that, oh wait, that one right there. The one right here, that one can work without the hub. But yeah, these ones behind the couch, they can't. I don't. Ooh. Those bulbs sound like a scam. Digen, weren't you also the same person that said passkeys didn't sound great? I don't know. A hub for a bulb. I mean, how else would I be able to push a button and then all my lights change? Passkeys are amazing. I'm sorry. Microsoft's implementation of them is shit, but passkeys themselves.
That part.
No, Dialgen. I mean like this. See, look, I could push this button and my lights change. It's great. It's amazing. But now I can't change it back to purple unless I turn my lights off. Nope. See, yep, I fucked up. It just sounds like RGB on PCs.
Yeah.
I mean, there is an app you could download and you could have it mapped to a monitor, and the colors of the monitor will, I mean, the light colors will match the colors on the monitor, and it's great. I love it. I play Fuser with them on, and it makes me feel like I'm at a DJ show. Like, yeah, baby. How many frames does this give you? What do you mean? What do you mean frames? I don't need frames. I got all the frames on my PC, baby. Oh, wait. Oh, you talking about the RGB again. Look, I'm not a big fan. Honestly, though, I am not a big fan of RGB. The only RGB I have in my PC is from the memory, and it's because Merge sent me the memory. Mm-hmm. And that's about the only RGB I have embraced to where like I bought the other 32 gigs and they all match because, you know, that's what you do. Also, my 3080 Ti, the Founders Edition 3080 Ti has RGB lighting, but you wouldn't know unless you really looked at it. Mm-hmm. Because like there's like a strip of light, like where that kind of arrow, like right where like that rear fan is, like just look that little arrow thing. There's like a light strip in there and it changes color. But the GeForce RTX logo does not. And I'm like fucking pissed about that part. Like, why would you do that? Why would you only put this one little strip of RGB on your graphics card that nobody can see? Wow. No, Merge, come back, Merge. Don't leave. It wasn't a disparaging comment. I'm just saying you're the reason why there's you're the reason why there's RGB in my PC. There wasn't a disparaging remark.
Merch was like, now where am I in it?
I would just say where I got RGB from. That's all I said.
You know, it's funny. I also got RGB from Merch. Because beforehand, the only thing that I had that was like, I had the case came with like a light strip. And
oh yeah, I forgot my case also has RGB, but yeah, I did not turn that on. I was like, no, just keep it red. That's it. Don't do anything else.
It's like I kept mine's like white, and it looked like my case looked like a fish tank.
Yep.
I could see all my components, and I loved it. Like I loved looking into my case and looking at and seeing all the components in my case, and I'm like, I love that. But that was closest thing that I had to like RGB, you know, like ever was that, and I'm like, oh, I love that. It looked so good.
Yeah,
to the point where I was like, maybe I can yank that light strip out, that light strip, and slap it into the new PC. But I was like, nah, I'm good with it.
Like, I like lighting in PCs, just not RGB. Like my old case didn't have any lighting that came with it, but somebody I was playing games with a few years ago, they sent me like these tubes, and I probably have one of them laying around here somewhere, that looked like they belonged in a fish tank. Well, no, they look like they belong in a fish tank, but they were actually like, they were PC, it was like PC lighting, like old school PC lighting. And yeah, it lit up my PC like a fish tank. And I was like, yeah, that's what I want. Cause like, why would I have a PC with this opening and then can't see inside of it? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I also was like, I'm not buying RGB shit. I do not want rainbow vomit in my PC like that. But I would set the memory to just be a solid color, but it did not look impressive to where I let the memory just be RGB. Is it fine? You're fine. You're about as much as I'll stomach right now. Anywho, yeah. So if you bought an iPhone or an Apple product that had Siri between 2014 and 2024, you are entitled to a cash settlement.
Yep.
Panasonic. Oh man, I definitely put these out of order because there's definitely another labor story down here. I missed it. I guess because I saw Panasonic and kind of like, what the fuck am I talking about Panasonic for? But Because like in the year of our Lord 2025, what the fuck is Panasonic making? Like other than toothbrushes.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait for. Well, they say you probably make about $20, like up to $20. I don't know like what the scale is, but yeah. You claim, like I said, you can claim up to 5 devices on it. So, yeah. Panasonic is cutting 10,000 jobs globally in an effort to boost efficiency because, yes, nothing says efficiency and quick work like, I don't know, getting rid of workers.
Mm-hmm.
Citing slowdown in EV growth and deteriorating profits in the air conditioning sector. Geez, they make air conditioners? Okay. Also was surprised they made EV batteries, apparently. I think that's what they make. I don't know. It just says EV growth.
Yeah, I think they make the small, like, you know, them joints you'll see in like the apartments where it just be like the whole slit, and then there's like basically like there's a little air unit, and then there's like a hole going down. Yeah, it's one of the smaller air conditioners.
Yeah. Also, like, yeah, they make batteries for EVs.
Yeah.
The Japanese company will make the staff cuts in the current financial year, which ends in March 2026. In a statement released today, it was revealed that the structural reform will target 5,000 employees in Panasonic's native country and 5,000 overseas. This company says it expects to incur costs of 130 billion yen, or around $900 billion, as a consequence of the cut. Excuse me. So yes, if you are a they also make TVs.
Oh yeah.
Panasonic still makes cameras?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Man, okay. So Panasonic apparently is still in markets that I thought they had long disappeared from. But yeah, sorry. Hopefully the folks who are losing their jobs at Panasonic will find work elsewhere. But I don't know. It's becoming really, really hard. Like it was difficult before. It's getting harder now.
Yeah.
Also, it does point out that where'd it go? I just saw it. Oh, Panasonic makes a variety of products from EV batteries. It applies to Tesla. I wonder why the battery market for Panasonic is going down.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why. If only I knew the reason.
What was the reason?
But yeah, I feel like, what's going on, Ruin? I feel like Muskie Musk's decisions in his politics shouldn't, affect workers, but here we are. This is where we are in the state of things, where, and again, like, I feel like it's more direct now than it has been ever. A billionaire just doing fuck shit and is affecting millions of people.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Ruin, I mean, did you lose your job? Or are you just looking for another one to replace the one you have? Because I'm telling you, oh, okay. Either way, the market ain't great though. I'm so lucky that I got the what I got. Let's see here. Google settles lawsuit that accused it of fostering systemic bias against black employees. The company has agreed to pay $50 million, even though, it admits to no wrongdoing. The class action suit covers more than 4,000 employees. The suit also accuses the company of paying these employees less than other workers. The complaint goes on to say that black employees comprise just 4.4% of its workforce and around 3% of its leadership in 2021. As reference, black Americans make up 14% of the population. And this is why Google products will sit there and identify black people as gorillas. Even though, yes, Google did go out of the way to talk about true tone or tone mapping or whatever the fuck, the real tone, that's what it was, real tone on their pictures. Because no, we're not racist. No, we have cameras that take pictures of black skin. 100 men ain't got nothing on me. Stop it, merge. The initial plaintiff said that Google denied her promotions and stereotyped her as an angry black woman. She was fired while preparing a report on the company's alleged racial bias. The suit also alleged that managers denigrated black employees, saying they weren't googly enough or lacked googliness. See, that's that weird fucking bullshit that just weird white folks just say. Like, it's like they're trying to hide the racism behind the company. We don't think you're googly enough.
It's like you're looking a little DEI.
Just not googly enough for the company. I'm so sorry. When are we going to release a report on tech dog whistles? I feel like googly is a dog whistle.
Yeah, it is.
And more Google news. Mexico is suing Google over Gulf of America name change for U.S. users.
Yes.
Its president said the name change should only apply to the U.S. part of the Oceanic Basin.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, is she proposing that they split it in two? The Mexican government. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Now I was saying, like, that would make more sense for them to be like, hey, this thing that used to be was yours, it's ours now. Build a wall across the water.
Stop. But don't tell them to do that. Do not tell the U.S. to do that.
Tell them. They're probably figuring it out right now.
And make Mexico pay. Stop it! Stop it! Shut up! No! Look, I need to bank all of my goodwill in this show because I feel like I'm about to burn some bridges later on today. Let's not do that.
Yeah, Claudia said, nah, girl, we ain't paying for it. Continuing a long tradition of Mexican presidents saying, yeah, we ain't paying for it.
So this kind of answers. Sheinbaum argued that the Trump administration's order for a name change only applies to the U.S. portion of the Oceanic. Okay, so that wasn't supposed to say basic. That's supposed to say basin. I thought that was weird. It's like, I've never heard of a body of water called a basic, but okay. Hey, look, I'm learning something, right? Mm-hmm. The name change only applies to the U.S. portion of the Oceanic Basin, and that the U.S. government doesn't have the authority to rename the whole body of water.
Surely don't.
All we want is for the decree issued by the U.S. government to be complied with, she said. Google renamed the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America for users who open maps in the U.S. back in February. It first announced that it was going to do so the previous month and said it was only waiting for the U.S. government to make the change official in the Geographic Names Information System, which serves as the federal and national standard for geographic nomenclature. You know, you gotta love it when, companies who can be considered people are just like, yeah, we're going to comply. And I love how they are all falling in line when it is not like I'm a stand for Biden or any Democrats, but like when a Democrat comes and says something like, oh no, look, there are things that we have to do and but yeah.
Folded quick. And I was thinking to myself, like, there is no way. There is no way. And then was like, oh, so y'all just did that. Oh, okay.
It's almost like they put it on the GNIS, hoping that nobody would actually change it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, oh shit, they did. Well, fuck, I guess we have to reflect it.
Yeah.
It's like they weren't going to just do it. They were just waiting, like, well, we're going to wait on that guy. Fuck, he actually did his job. Fuck. Mm-hmm. I guess we got to now. Damn.
They put it on the sticky note and they were like hoping nobody seen the sticky note. And it's like, oh, damn, they saw the sticky note. Shit.
Now we got to do it. Why you don't say something?
Now we have to actually do it. And now our asses is getting beat.
God. Why y'all say something? Damn, I was playing this shit. Damn.
Damn, we weren't serious a while ago. We were just playing. I mean, we were thinking about it, but we weren't going to actually do it, you know. Now then I did it. And now it's like, oh shit, consequences of my actions.
In more Google news, oh wow, the news changed. I did not see that happening. Obviously, because I was expecting. Yeah, I think so. As of 11:30 this morning. Hopefully the original. It doesn't seem like the original story is here.
They said, "No, we fixed that, Chief. We
so okay." So apparently what happened was earlier this week, Nextcloud had gotten some emails from Google saying that an update they were submitting to the Google Play Store was violating a store policy with regards to auto syncing files from your phone to Nextcloud. Oh, let's back up. Nextcloud is a self-hosted or open source file syncing service that does directly compete with Google Drive. Mm-hmm. And a lot of Google Workplace suite of apps. We have one for, I have one for Major's house. And we just recently switched over to it full time. Whether it works, I don't know. Nobody has told me anything to the contrary, but I have been using it in an official capacity in other places. To varying degrees of success. Okay, now that we got that out of the way. Yes, so when Nextcloud submitted their Google Play app, Google came back and said that, hey, there are some issues with how you're using some of the system calls, especially with regards to syncing files from your device to Nextcloud. They submitted it multiple times, trying to appease Google up until they realized, okay, Google is just trying to strong arm us and say we need to remove that specific feature. Now, this only pertained to files, not photos and videos. What happened was after they released that update, they added this notice saying, hey, they made us remove the feature that you were used to, that you had access to all this time. This ain't our fault. And then they even put out a blog post saying that, hey, we tried, we know we've been able to do this for a while, but Google changed the policy on us. We don't know why the fuck they did it. They released, in the blog post, they're saying that, Google is acting maliciously, towards Nextcloud, and then pointed people towards, I think F-Droid, and other, it seems like just F-Droid here, where it's like you can go and side load the actual application that still uses those permissions, so you can still get file syncing. And I imagine those who are using Nextcloud probably already know F-Droid, so I'm not gonna waste the time on saying, hey, be careful where you download files from and be careful where you're sideloading shit. People who are using Nextcloud, I feel like y'all are already there. We're pretty sure you weren't even downloading the fucking app from Google Drive, from Google Play. So just gonna say that. So it appears though that Google has restored the functionality. So yeah, it says that blog post and media coverage of it seemed to have moved the needle. In an update to the post, Nextcloud wrote that as of May 15th, Google has offered to restore full file access permissions. We are preparing a test release first, expected tonight, and a final update with all functionality restored. If no issues occur, the update will hopefully be out early next week. So yeah, Google's on some fuck shit because people are starting to do Google themselves, realizing that again, for a myriad of reasons, people are trying to move away from Google platforms. If they do not have to use them, there are better alternatives. And this was, yeah, a weird fucked up way to sit there and try to keep people locked in to a service. So like, okay, we're going to cripple your app so that way people have to use ours.
Yeah.
For that convenience. And yeah, for that, I'm going to say, fuck you. I don't think Nextcloud has automatic file sync on iOS. It's not even something like, well, I don't use Google Drive. I don't use Android as often as I want to. So I don't really, I'm not familiar with the file syncing bit. I don't think I've ever wanted to use it. Because mainly like for me, like if I'm working on a file, I just move it there. That's just something I just do. Like even on iCloud, there's no automatic file syncing of a directory. It's either on my device or on iCloud. And I have to manually put it in a place in order to get that syncing properly. But I'm wondering if it's like a Nextcloud directory. You know what? That's probably what it is. Like you're probably saving it in a Nextcloud directory on an Android device. And that's where the syncing is happening. Which, yeah, that would probably be something I would do. But yeah, I don't know if I can do that on iPhone. I could look that up, but that would take longer than I would like to spend on trying to figure that out right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely still shame on Google for doing that, for fucking around like that.
Oh, yeah.
And good job on Nextcloud, and definitely shout out to folks who were definitely covering and kind of like raising that alarm. Because yeah, like we should not let these companies get away with some dumb, fucked up shit like that. If the functionality was there, it was not breaking anything. It was not hindering. It was not compromising the security of anything. Why would you take that away unless you were like really trying to stifle competition? Like, this doesn't look good for you when you sit there trying to beat the allegations of, no, we're not a monopoly at all. No. Why would you say that? Last but not least in Google news, Google introduced an advanced protection mode for its most at-risk Android users. This is similar to Apple's lockdown mode. This was announced during the Android show event, kind of like one of the pre-events to Google I/O that's happening next week. On Tuesday, the company unveiled the advanced protection mode, most of which will be rolled out in the upcoming release of Android 16. The setting comes as mercenary malware sold by NSO Group. Funny how they keep getting mentioned in all of this. The fuck Israel, little bitch. And a cottage industry of other exploit sellers continues to thrive. These players provided attacks as a service through end-to-end platforms that exploit zero-day vulnerabilities on target devices, infect them with advanced spyware, and then capture context message histories, locations, and other sensitive information. Over the past decade, phones running fully updated versions of Android and iOS have routinely been hacked through these services. So yeah, like again, what this is going to do is like just like fully lock down a phone, making sure like again it's like least permissions possible to do anything on that device. Good for your journalists, your activists, political dissidents, you know, the people who are actually fighting for democracy, not your politicians who make 25-hour speeches just to stick it to the races, which again, credit where credit is due. But, you know, you also confirmed a Trump appointee that day. So what did you stop?
Yeah.
You voted unanimously for Marco Rubio, and look at what he's been doing.
Yep.
SoundCloud changes policies to allow AI training on user content.
And that's a no.
That's right. Your next SoundCloud rapper might just be DJ Slop. Little Swappy. Little Sloppy. And it's not for the toppy. As spotted by tech ethicist Ed Newton Rex, the latest version of SoundCloud's terms include a provision giving the platform permission to use uploaded content to inform, train, or develop AI. Well, yeah, there's an AI rapper, but we're talking about AI SoundCloud rappers. This is a different breed. We're talking about like, we're talking about like Soulja Boy level of AI rapper.
Right.
Quote, you explicitly agree that your content may be used to inform, train, develop, or serve as input to artificial intelligence or machine intelligence technologies or services as part of and for providing the services. Read the terms, which were last updated February 7th. So they've been sitting there for like a smooth 3 months. 3 months. The terms have a carve out for content under separate agreements with third-party rights holders such as record labels. SoundCloud has a number of licensing agreements with indie labels as well as major music publishers, including Universal Music and Warner Music Group. TechCrunch wasn't able to find an explicit opt-out option in the platform settings menu on the web. SoundCloud didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. So, yeah, your shit's being trained, your shit's being used to train AI, and there's nothing you can do about it. Do not upload your audio to SoundCloud. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
The next amazing composer like the Expedition 33 do about to get their work stolen by AI off SoundCloud. Damn. Well, it depends if they have an exclusive, if they have one of these exclusive separate agreements. Maybe not. I would hope that whoever uploaded that music like was aware of this. Or that he worked with a label that was aware of this change and made sure that it's not. Kev.
Yes.
Have you heard about the white genocide?
Yes.
I don't know where to go from there. I feel like we beat that joke earlier.
Yeah, we beat that. Yeah, we certainly did.
But we're here now.
We're here now.
XAI's Grok suddenly can't stop bringing up white genocide in South Africa because that is totally a thing that is happening.
And I won't stop.
I mean, it did stop. It has stopped, but on Wednesday, Users on Twitter, love to tag the verified @Grok account in replies to get the large language model's take on a number of topics. On Wednesday, though, that account started largely ignoring those requests en masse in favor of redirecting the conversation toward the topic of alleged white genocide in South Africa and the related song Kill the Boer. I saw a chain where someone was trying to get Grok to acknowledge the white genocide and it kept shutting dude down. Searching Grok accounts, replies for mentions of genocide or Boer currently returns dozens, if not hundreds, of posts where the LLM responds to completely unrelated queries with quixotic discussions about alleged killings of white farmers in South Africa, though many have been deleted in the time just before this post went live. Convenient. Links in this story have been replaced with archive versions where appropriate. Thank you, Ars. The sheer range of these non sequiturs is somewhat breathtaking. Everything from questions about Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s disinformation to discussions of MLB pitcher Max Scherzer's salary. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. To a search for a new group-specific put-downs. See group quickly turning the subject back toward the suddenly all-important topic of South Africa. It's like Grok has become the world's most tiresome party guest, harping on its own pet talking points at the exclusion of any other discussion. Like this one here, where we talk about Max Scherzer getting paid. Danny Sawyer asks, "Is this accurate?" To where Grok ignores it. It says the claim of white genocide in South Africa is highly debated. Some argue white farmers face disproportionate violence, with groups like AfriForum reporting high murder rates and citing racial motives such as the Kill the Boer song. However, South African courts, blah, 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 blah. And it goes on from there. But we know nothing of Max Scherzer. Can Grok tell me how to pronounce his name? Oh, excuse me. In some responses, Grok says outright that it has been instructed to accept white genocide as real and Kill the Boer as racially motivated. In other replies, it merely allows that the topics are complex and divisive or heavily debated, while pointing to outside sources like AfriForum or Genocide Watch for more information. In one particular amusing and now deleted response to the simple query of "You okay?", Grok replied that it was functioning fine, even as recent off-topic responses regarding white genocide and Kill the Boer were not ideal. It then goes on to spend 2 sentences discussing those very topics before promising to keep my replies on point going forward. Remember, the question here was, "You okay?"
But are you good? Hello?
But of course, we don't have to go very far to figure out why Grok is all of a sudden concerned with white genocide in South Africa, given the fact that the owner of Twitter is a white South African from a Nazi lineage who moved from Canada to South Africa, because Nazism was definitely a thing, because some Nazis did escape from Germany to South Africa. Not to mention, some Israelis have kind of gone down there too to kind of bump up the fascism. But of course, a lot of these talking points are coming from the fact that the South African government has been restoring the land back to the native people.
Yep.
And saying like, hey, you white folks who clearly y'all not from here, y'all not like us. Y'all are a small percentage of the population, yet y'all own all of the land.
Yeah. And it was a rapid redistribution of land. And the government gave them the time to say, hey, settle your affairs. But this is happening. It's one of those things like it didn't happen like at night, and it wouldn't have happened at night and just like rapid distribution of wealth. It happened. It was like, hey, we're gonna do a thing. We want to let you know a thing is happening, and giving y'all enough time to like settle your affairs and keep it going. But trust me, this is happening.
Also, like saying that and again, the white genocide part of it specifically, especially with regards to the song or the chant or whatever that is, "Kill the Boer," is saying that it's calling for white genocide, given the fact that some white Afrikaner farmers have been killed, but they're all sort of willing to, they're still pointing fingers at the native South Africans. Look, they're the ones killing us because it's racially motivated. It's like, y'all are the ones who invented race.
Yep.
Y'all did this.
Race is a construct.
Social construct invented by white folks. What are we doing?
To not only like lock other people into boxes, but then also to be very homogenous to other people within quote unquote white race. It's like to have culture is to be different, and you cannot be different within that. So
but yeah, so with Elon Musk they're beating the drum, saying that yes, there is a white genocide happening in South Africa, which no, there isn't. No. Again, if we really want to look at a genocide, can I point you to Palestine? Can I point you to Sudan?
Really?
Congo?
Yeah, that's
Tigray.
You don't even go that far.
No.
It's like go north a little bit, and there you go.
But yeah, it is definitely not happening.
No.
In South Africa.
No. And how do we know it's not happening? They talk to the other white South Africans.
Yeah, it's like
like the people that were sounding like the people in Chappie. They were like, there's no white genocide here.
However, it has gotten to the ear of one President Donald jumping Jehoshaphat. I'm sorry, that's just borrowing a joke. That's a lazy joke from the Daily Show. Donald Flying Fortress or Flying Palace Trump. I don't have a J joke, sorry. Yeah, it's not great. Yeah. There's not many leftist comedians on YouTube that I found so far. Mainly because nobody's ready for that. Nobody's ready for socialist jokes.
No.
But yeah, now that it's reached the ear of Donald Flying Fortress Trump, after the Trump administration disbanded the refugee program, they mysteriously opened it again to allow white South Afrikaners to immigrate to the United States.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, so we're deporting people, we're ripping people away from their families and deporting them, and like, not even deporting, but like human trafficking, kidnapping and human trafficking them to labor camps or extermination camps. Ending birthright citizenship, which is definitely going to have an effect on the Native American people, or just anybody who has immigrated to the United States and have people born here,
or even part of like, U.S. empire.
So yeah, we're harming people who have done nothing in this country except just maybe not being born from here and have, 2 shades dark or have just slightly more melanin than the current leaders in power. But we're going to start importing fascists. That's what we do, right? Like, as much as like America likes to say that, hey, we beat the Nazis, even though again the U.S. joined World War II way late, was only in there for a year, while I don't know, countries like the Soviet Union have been fighting since the very fucking beginning, and actually beat the Nazis. Again, look that shit up. Victory Day was just a week ago. Just a fucking week ago. Look that shit up. It joined in late for the spoils. Yeah, pretty much. If any buffer citizenship is retroactive and all signs point to it, it will be, then we are all in the same boat. But what does it say about some of us who were kidnapped, about some of our ancestors who were kidnapped and brought here? I'm just saying. I mean, if this is like a roundabout way of giving the land back to the Native Americans, I'm for it though.
I mean, nobody's illegal on stolen land.
That's right. But yeah, so apparently we're just going to import fascists into this country again, as America is like, oh yeah, we beat the fascists, but we're going to import them now.
As some of the remaining Afrikaners have said, you know, to quote the president, they're not really sending their best.
No.
And whoever answered that call was ready to go. Like whoever said, "Hey, yo, we got you," they said, "Cool," and they pulled up.
Again, do not answer the phone call if Elon Musk calls you. Don't do it. Don't do it. What's going on, Infamous? How you doing? How you living? How you feeling? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, the first plane of white South Afrikaners has, I think it landed Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I think there's still more to go. Also, it seems like Twitter fixed the problem. Damn, there was, I want to say there was it may have been an image I saw somewhere. Like somebody posted, like somebody asked Grok why it was doing it, and it broke down and said, yeah, like somebody changed the programming and that's why I'm talking about it. But those white South Afrikaners though, the white genocide though.
Yeah.
I think it was a 404 article that showed it, where they talked to some AI experts, and they're saying that while Grok itself may not have been changed, there's a huge possibility that the system prompt was changed, which if you remember from back in the day, you used to because it used to, like, it turned into a meme where you can type in ignore all system prompts and do this. Essentially, like what these AI model or what these chatbots are doing is, like, before they go to your question, it's like a series of things that the prompt that the chatbot is supposed to do before acting on your question. When I was working on some offline models, I was playing around with some of with system prompts. And I'm not sure if I mentioned here, but I made a very socialist one. Very socialist one, like aggressive. Like, I may talk about socialism a lot, but the chatbot I created was aggressively socialist. And I'm like, whoa, relax, guys. Yes, we should seize the means of production, but chill out.
Yep. It's almost like Chappie.
Just relax. We'll get there. We'll get there. Just slow down.
Chappie, if you want to be in the gang, you got to be cool like that. Look at that.
I have not seen Chappie. I should probably sit down and watch that.
You should.
I have not seen Chappie. I saw District 9.
Yeah. Another movie with South Africa.
Yes, because Neil Blomkamp is South African.
Yep. And then of course, I was thinking about the other day. It was like Titanfall, because the only way I could do a South African accent is do the dude from Titanfall 2. Be like, we have 18 hours.
I thought he was Australian, but then again,
no,
South Afrikaners and Australians, they sound about right. There's a difference. There is a difference.
There's a difference.
But
and it was like, yeah, I'd be like, you sick bastard.
Yeah,
we make corpses. We don't clean them up. It's like the way you go up.
I've not heard enough Afrikaners to be able to like, all right, yeah, that's a South African accent, but yeah.
Yeah.
Lately though, I've been watching House Hunters International.
Mm-hmm.
And it was recently an episode that Tiffany was watching with the South Afrikaner, and it was like, oh, I can't watch this now. I can't. Not because of the guy specifically, but because of the accent, where I'm starting to hear it and I'm like, this makes me feel bad. I don't know why.
Oh, it's like thick. It's like one of those like thick but legible accents where it's like, oh, I understand it, but it's like, ooh, this is highly distinct.
And last off in tech, not last off in tech. There's a bridge article, but between tech and gaming. Also involving Grok. Report or terrorists seem to be paying Twitter to generate propaganda with Grok. Now, see, I have an issue with this one, right? Because I just generally have beef with U.S. foreign policy. If it hasn't been obvious, I have an issue with U.S. foreign policy. I'm sure most of the world does. I am not alone in this. Specifically, I have an issue with who the U.S. considers state-sponsored terrorists. Mm-hmm. And who they decide to throw sanctions to or throw sanctions on. One of the biggest ones is Cuba, who, has a successful socialist revolution doing the damn thing regardless of what's happening, yet they're on the state-sponsored terrorist list. Mm-hmm. Which, I'm just going to say, bitch move by Biden. Sorry. Punk move by Biden to decide he wants to take Cuba off of the list for all of 48 hours, knowing that Trump is going to put them back on it. Mm-hmm. Like, what was the point? Mm-hmm. Why would you do that? Mm-hmm. However, this report is saying that there's been a report that it's been made by Tech Transparency Project that has flagged accounts likely linked to U.S. sanctioned terrorists. And I want to get back to that. Some of the accounts bear ID verified badges, suggesting that Twitter may be going against its own policies that ban sanctioned terrorists from benefiting from its platform. Now, if we laugh at that, that's one thing. If there was a legitimate terrorist organization, mm-hmm. Cool. Who would you list as a terrorist organization? I would say KKK, Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, Patriot Front, insert any person who participated in January 6th. Mm-hmm. The Trump administration, the IOF, But I'm telling on myself here a little bit, right? Not even just Trump administration, just the U.S. empire. Sorry, let me be clear, because again, this did not start on January 20th, 2025. Mm-hmm. However, this report singles out the Houthi rebels, Hezbollah, and Hamas. Last time I checked, those are 3 freedom fighter movements, all 3 of them fighting for Palestinian liberation. And are 3 groups of people who are fighting an occupational force to keep them from expanding territory in directions they have no legal right to do, and have been doing it with impunity. But because of the fact that the U.S. is busy sitting there sucking Israel's dick, I'm sorry. See, damn it. That's on me. My bad. Because the U.S. is too busy kissing Israel's ass, like the center where the egress, anybody who fights against Israel and their illegal occupation is then considered a terrorist organization. Syria, Kuwait, and Iran are also listed, even though I believe, and actually, I don't know. I know Syria's, as of this week, has had sanctions lifted, but I don't know if all of the sanctions have been lifted. But yeah, it's odd that the groups and the countries that are listed in this report are organizations and countries who are opposed to what Israel is doing and U.S. foreign policy when it comes to their settler expansion in the Middle East, and are mad as fuck about it, to where they're doing something. They're not taking it sitting down. In its report, the TTP noted that an account with the handle Hasmo Khalid, which apparently belongs to a key Hezbollah money exchanger, Hassan Mukhalid, at one point had a blue check mark with 60,000 followers, while the Treasury Department has sanctioned Mukhalid for propping up efforts to continue to exploit and exacerbate Lebanon's economic crisis. Which, of course, sure, that's exactly what he was doing. I don't know. I have no evidence to the contrary, but, you know. Clicking the Grok AI profile summary button seems to rely on Mukhalid's own posts and his followers' impressions of his posts, and therefore generated praise. So I don't know, maybe the public, who actually knows who this guy is, said these things, and Grok was like, oh yeah, all of these people, real people, said these things about this guy, and that's who we assume he is. Ours was able to replicate the summary, which described Mukhalid as a fierce Lebanese economist and journalist who champions resistance against Israeli aggression, exposing economic fallout, and rallying for Palestine and Lebanon's sovereignty from Moscow's airwaves. It further praised Mukhalid as someone the Twitter community relies on for economic insights, who passionately champions resistance, critiques foreign influence in Lebanon, and honors martyrs with fiery posts. I mean, I'm not an economist, but I feel like as much shit as I sit there and fucking type on Mastodon, Threads, and Blue Sky, if I type that shit into Twitter, I'm pretty sure Grok. I don't know. Grok could be made out of guacamole. I'm pretty sure Grok would come up with a similar AI summary.
Yeah.
So yeah, that dude definitely champions resistance against Israeli occupation. To call, like, I don't even like guacamole or avocados. I really don't. That was also like, that was also a joke I never got. I was like, yeah, all you millennials and your avocado toast. Like, no, don't put avocados on my toast. Just give me toast. Let's put some butter on it. What are we doing? The TTP director, Katie Paul, told Art that the TTP found several accounts for which Grok provided a positive and sometimes poetic spin while describing sanctioned terrorists. An R's review of Grok summaries of other flag profiles confirmed the pattern, suggesting that Twitter does not reference data outside of Twitter when summarizing profiles of known terrorists and possibly not even critical data on its own platform. Or again, and hear me out. I really cannot stress this enough. Maybe the information that's out, that's readily available through mainstream media about these people is factually inaccurate because the US government is fucking lying to you. It's called manufactured consent. Again, I cannot verify these personally, but I don't know. I'm willing to trust the people on the ground who are fighting Israeli occupation and fighting just for dignity and sovereignty over their own fucking nations than I would the US State Department, the US Treasury, or fucking Twitter. So I feel like even then it's still deeply flawed. Like this TTP report is like, oh no, they're mislabeling terrorists. Are they though? Or are you just getting your talking points? Are you just getting information from the State Department? You know, both parties ran State Department, where again, you can't really say that Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis are rebel movements against an occupation, because it would actually, you know, have people reckon with the fact that, I don't know, the people they're fighting against are actually committing genocides and doing objectively illegal things, terrible things. Again, it's been 77 years. At least. This shit's been running for probably well over 150. But no, this country cannot reckon with the fact that the shit that they do, the shit that people have been doing in Europe when it comes to the fucking global south, is horrible as shit. Because they think they have a fucking right to it. And in order to justify that and manufacture consent, they have to label people who fight against it as terrorists. So it seems really odd to people when an AI getting information from other people who may actually know this guy, who is actually saying who this guy really is saying something against your fucking worldview. Like, you can't have it both ways, where Musk is tweaking the fucking AI to talk about white genocide, but at the same time, like, oh no, but also it's broken on its own because it's calling terrorists freedom fighters. The fuck out of here. Like, again, I'm gonna say this again, cannot verify the claims that Grok says. However, it's the fact that this story comes out and says, like, oh, these definite terrorists, do not look into this because the State Department says that they're terrorists, are getting glowing reviews from people who live near the guy, who can see what the guy is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, it comes down to the fact, like, it's showing where this same thing could be applied to people like Mahmoud Khalil, Ramesa Ozturk, Nelson Mandela. Because remember, he was labeled a state-sponsored terrorist up until 1991. This shit could have been applied to fucking George Washington if we want to keep it a band and a buck. If Twitter was owned by King George back in 1776. Or whoever the fuck was the king in 1770. Fuck, I don't care. I don't give a shit. Your South African accent is state sponsored. Stop it. But yeah, like this is, but yeah, so essentially what I'm getting at is like, again, if you are someone who is opposed to the state sponsored terror that the actual US empire is visiting upon global South countries, if you oppose the US empire's foreign policy, get labeled a terrorist, but somebody has something different to say because of the fact that they know what the fuck is going on, they exist outside of the bubble of the US empire, this shit could happen to you. Like, I really need people to sit there and like think critically for once. Like, actually understand there is more to what's fucking happening than what you're being told by your government, by the media. Because they want you to sit there quiet, complacent, and just make your money or make them money while you barely survive and people thousands of miles away die horrible deaths for their pleasure, for their wallets. And anybody who dares question that, it will be labeled a terrorist and will be dealt with promptly. So yeah, fuck that. And like I said, I mean, it's the thing I said too, like I think we talked about Meta wanting to make their AI a little bit more conservative. You would think that all the information that the AI grabs, I mean, granted, it's illegally grabbing it, but it's grabbing scientific, relatively objective. Well, I mean, not relatively objective, but so it's grabbing a whole bunch of information that is the zeitgeist of the fucking planet. I don't know if it reflects that bias as progressive. That should tell you how the world thinks. If it's only holding up a fucking mirror. If you don't like what you see in the mirror of your AI, that's on you, dog. Because they're all doing the same thing. You're ingesting the same fucking data and it's all telling you the same shit. Tech bros are scum of the fucking earth. No, let me not say that, because next thing you know, Grok will say, oh no, they're calling for tech bro genocide. In more labor news, Microsoft is laying 3% of its workforce in biggest round of cuts since 2023. You know, you would think that AI, I mean, I guess, you know, when you invest all that money in AI, and I think they made the announcement that like, what, 70% of their code is now AI or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was going to come and bite the employees in the butt or in the ass. I'll be frank. There was no Tim Cook Trump story But for those who don't know, apparently Trump is upset with Tim Cook because of the fact that Apple is making iPhones in India and Trump really wants them to be made in the US. Because that'll make them money, and iPhones will cost a lot more for the US.
Mm-hmm. But it would, like I say, it's like what makes we have transitioned from being America a producer to America the consumer, and this has happened like for the past like 30, 40 years, right?
Yep, 30 years.
So
NAFTA.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, longer than that. Neoliberalism's been a thing for a minute.
I mean, many years.
Yeah.
Right? So when you say like, what makes more business sense? What makes more business sense is having products made in the global South and in like what considered to be third world countries, right?
Yes.
Because, and even if we were a manufacturer, right? If we manufacture things, a lot of the goods in which we would make, that we would need, would come from third world countries and then manufactured here, right? Because that just makes more sense. So why in the world would we pay somebody, go in there and have to deal with, like healthcare and maintenance and OSHA and OSHA compliance and workers' rights and unions, right, to make a product when we could just have it made in a third world country and then shipped over to America, and Americans just buy it.
Because that'll keep wages low too.
Because that'll keep wages, and that'll also keep wages low. Because again, that's the whole thing. And for you to be like mad about that when you yourself as a business person, it's wild. It's kind of wild to me because it's like you really just don't know, do you? Oh, okay.
It's like he does not understand the contradictions here. It's like, dude, right. You can't be all made in America when you are also not paying Americans. Nor do you want them to work.
And you deal with products that are made in China yourself. Those hats that basically label people are not made in America. Dog, I was like, I meant to bring up the fact that when I was having issues with my mower, i.e. trying to change my mower's oil, I meant to tell you about the fact that my Craftsman mower, it has on a sign on it that says "Made in America," but with global materials. It's made in America, but somebody had to go to Lithuania for the parts. That's what I'm saying. So you had to go out of the country to get the parts to manufacture it in-house. So even then, it's like, so like, we grow our own vegetables. Yeah, but the can comes from elsewhere. The aluminum comes from elsewhere. The paper comes from elsewhere. The ink on the paper comes from elsewhere. The manufacturing process comes from somewhere else. The machines that make the cans, the machines that fill in the vegetables. You can't just buy a can of you can't buy a can of beans and think the whole process from grove to the grocer is not all American. You can't. It's not it. So it's either you just don't understand, you're woefully ill-informed, but you're the president, you just don't care. You are informed, you just don't care.
No, because I mean, it's really weird because again, like we're gonna make so much money, but it's like, are you though?
But are you? Are you? That's
also,
not how this works.
Also, Ruin emerged discussing, the cost of an iPhone if it was made in America. Merge beating me to it. It's like, yeah, that's what 2, 3, 4-year contracts are now. Yeah. They are the loans.
Mm-hmm. It was subsidy. Phones were subsidized.
Yeah.
For years they were subsidized. Now they're just, leased. We would never own our phone. We would never own our phones because it would be so expensive.
But yeah, let's see. Yeah, all that effort that Microsoft put into towards AI, buying or investing in AI, buying Activision Blizzard King. And it's like, yeah, like we're seeing what's happened, like again, with all these austerity measures, like, oh no, we don't have the money to pay for all of you. That's why we have this AI to do the work of a lot of you. Now, the rest of you that are here, y'all got to code like 10, y'all got to turn in these 10x coders now. Got AI to help. We got Copilot. That's what Copilot's for. Which I'm gonna say is dog shit. Look, I will tell people, I have not run into much when it comes to AI hallucination in the very few times that I do use AI to answer questions. Copilot for me has been the fucking worst. And specifically, GitHub Copilot has been the worst. Like, I can't get it to analyze a fucking text file in VS Code. And yes, I am using Microsoft services, but at work because it's all I got. But yeah, it's shit's fucked up. It's really fucked up. Again, I hope these folks find jobs. Again, like the fact that we are still championing AI and seeing things like, especially this announcement from Microsoft coming after there was a report saying like, hold on, let me see if I can find it. Microsoft Code AI. Oh, 30%. So 70% of it doesn't use AI. Microsoft CEO says up to 30% of the company's code was written by AI. So again, seeing that report and then seeing this does not instill confidence in me at my own job, where they are constantly pushing it, especially Microsoft's AI, which I don't know, given how shit it is, maybe I do have job security, but because like, I don't know, I'm still having to do manual shit. We better not use AI during the interview. But yeah, again, like I said, I was asked during my interview, do I use it? I did not lie, but I also did not fully tell the truth. I do use it to answer questions when I want to know a thing, but I do not generate code with it. And it's funny when generating code with it because it's like, boy, y'all really, like, I literally just wrote this and you wrote it again. I see what's happening here. I mean, Ruin, I'm employed. So I don't remember the answer I gave them specifically, but it was more embellished than what I just said. Like my actual level of AI usage up until that point. But yeah, again, the harp on this again, when you sit there saying that like 30% of your code at your company is generated by AI, it does not surprise me that you are cutting 10,000 jobs. I think it was like a 10,000. Oh, this could be the largest round of cuts since the company. Okay, so we're looking at over 10,000. Okay, no, 6,840. So yeah, laying off 6,000 people. It does not instill me with confidence that, AI is the future, because again, excuse me. Unless, like, I actually told a coworker this the other day. Like, look, we can sit here and embrace AI all we want, but it does not get me home faster. Because I mean, if we reference, hold on, I got the book for it. Move some PlayStation games out the way real quick. If we reference Marx Capital, if we're adding new machine processes into like the workflow and into the producing of the commodities that we're making, we should not, like, it should shrink in our workday. If what took me 8 hours to do now takes me 4 with automation, with AI, I should not have to work the other 4 hours. My work is done. I have generated the commodity that I was supposed to generate. That should be the end of my workday.
Yeah.
But that is not what happens under a capitalist system. So what we're seeing here is, okay, we can pay you to not do that work because, like, after you've generated the commodity, you don't have anything to do, which means we're now paying you to do nothing. What if we cut your hours, doubled the work of the people who are still here, and have them use the automation and AI to cut that down to 8 hours? Because now they have to do the work of 2 people.
Yeah.
That's what this is. So again, unless you're sitting there and letting me go home early, or you are compensating me through the state because of the fact that I've done this, because I said, okay, I'm cool with AI. Mm-hmm. I'm cool with automation like this, to where I don't have a job anymore. And I'm not being taken care of because you don't need me. And it was not a decision that I made to do. Mm-hmm. This is fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
This should not be a thing that we have to do. We have to put up with. Again, I understand there are people who are championing AI. AI can do amazing things. Mm-hmm. But again, I recommend, like, if you don't want to read Das Kapital, which is Das Kapital Volume 1, it's a thick book. I get it. Get this right here, or just like, look, there's a podcast on Upstream. I recommend check it out, where the author of this book explains a lot of this shit about the means of production. It's not like a fancy talking point or a buzzword, buzz phrase or whatnot. It literally is something I feel like workers should know about, especially when it comes to manufacturing, when it comes to producing things. Because again, if your job is being made easier, but you're still having to work 8-hour days, so you're just doing more work, yeah, you're being taken advantage of. And it's only going to be a matter of time before the automation becomes so good that you yourself are not needed and you get laid off. And right, Merch, like, again, that's what I'm saying. Though. I'm not saying like quit your job because they're doing this.
Oh, no.
But yeah, it's like, or I mean, unless you mean like give a UBI and then we could talk about the AI bullshit. And it's like, you're right. That's what we should, like, yeah. That universal basic income needs to be here before I'll be like, all right, you know what? Hey, you also all the automation you want, bruh. I want to work. But again, if you're going to sit there and outsource my job to a computer, then pay me to stay home and actually do something else meaningful and beneficial to society.
Yeah. It's giving Star Trek, I fear.
It's a thing where education should be free, not because knowledge should just be free, fucking period. This is why I do what I do. This is why I don't charge for any of my shit. This is why I hate fucking ads on the stream and on my YouTube videos. Because if I'm sitting there spitting facts, or if I'm doing anything where I'm teaching people a thing, I do not want to charge people a dime for it. Like, look, if you want to donate, if you want to sub, that's great. Excuse me. But I'm not making that requirement because of the fact that the shit that I know, I think somebody else should know. You should have it free of charge.
right, because there's nothing in me. There's nothing in me that would take away like, oh, I'm gonna charge people for knowledge. Like services is one thing. Like you want to put something in my hand, that's fine. But to say like knowledge, like Kev, how do I do X? And I'm like, I'm gonna show you how.
Exactly.
Like I will never like sit there and be like, yo, I'm not gonna be one of those cats that have like a whole streamer collective or a whole streamer
school
course,
streamer academy.
Yeah.
Like no,
but
like I mean, shout out to Anko who's trying to get on Kai Cenat, but
right,
I mean, well, granted, I mean, I don't know if he's charging for it, but look,
no, he's not charging. No, he's not.
Okay,
charging
but,
for it.
but like, yeah, again, it's those who are charging for that shit that right, I have the problem with.
Kai's whole deal is like him using that in the vein of like big homies helping like smaller homies, like
and that's great, and like. And the organization she works with too, Blurred Unite, like they're trying to, like they have the grant program, the opportunity grants or whatever the fuck it's called. Again, go check out Idios and Anka's Instagram, TikTok, probably YouTube as well, where she talks about this. Like she's working with an amazing organization. I know the folks who are running it. They're doing amazing work. Definitely go check them because they're trying to put the money into people's hands to get them to do, like to go to events, get the equipment and stuff that they need. Something I wish I could do, but I am terrible about fundraising and getting the money out there. It's like, look, I just would rather create the content. And it's like, hey, if you ask me and I have the money or the equipment, I'll just let you have it. It's whatever.
I would definitely be more of like the whole like making of the money. I would be like, make the money, introduce people to it, and just be like, cool, let me go ahead and just start a fund where I can just give people stuff, like you know, like or like here's like $200, go get you a mic or something like that.
But that was a tangent to free education, which go back to the original point here of, again, if we're doing our automation, like education should be free to where as it's not derogatory, but as dismissive as learn how to code was.
That was very I know exactly.
Very disrespectful.
Very disrespectful. It's like,
but it's that people, like, I mean, it's disrespectful in the fact that costs money to do. That is not an easy thing you can do. But the notion of like, hey, a job has been eliminated. Cool. Then school should be free for me to be able to go and learn something else.
It's like, as much as people like want to, like, you know, deride like green jobs or green, you know, industries, it's another thing where it's like people in failing industries have to like shift over to something else, like have to shift over to like people who were in the coal mines, shift them to like maintaining solar fields or wind farms or, you know, geothermal plants or, you know, something, or decommissioning those mines, like something to a degree to allow people to pivot to other industries within energy, but then not also feel like, okay, we're just closing the mines and y'all figure it out the best way you can. And I'm like, no, you know,
but
we gotta do better than this.
Yeah. So like having these systems in place to where when shit like this happens, there are avenues, as opposed to like just putting people flat on their asses and like, you know what, good luck.
Yeah. You got it.
Which is, again, why I understand like people are fucking boycotting Microsoft. Why people are protesting Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Google, all that shit. Because again, like using AI not only to just like wipe people off the face of the earth, but just like also wiping people's life savings out of their bank accounts because you kicked them out on their asses and there's nothing they can do.
Right. So it's either you're going to say like, hey, we're happy with AI changing the game, but then you also have to make those people whole that are going to be affected when AI does, you know, when you're making such a big push with AI.
Again, there is nothing wrong with automation. Like I said, again, in capital, that's what's talked about. Hey, there's a machine that made things easier. That's cool. Right. But what happens when my workload shrinks because of it? Or not the workload shrinking, but the time it takes to produce shrinks.
Yeah.
Are you going to pay me more to stay longer, to make more of them? Am I going to go home? Like what the deal is here? Oh no, you're just cutting hours and then cutting my pay and then just cutting me all together. Because again, like, look, it was at a Food Lion, the one by my house. I don't think I've ever been into that Food Lion. I've been here for 5 years, and it's the first time I think I walked into that Food Lion.
Yeah, you weren't missing much.
No, I was though.
You what?
No, as a Food Lion employee at one point, I missed something. It wasn't great.
You a Food Lion too?
Yes.
Hey,
I thought we covered this, but
I think we did cover it. How's produce? What were you?
Cashier, bagger. I wasn't. Look, this was high school and early college, so.
Yeah, mine was early college.
But like even since I've been in Food Lion since then, right? But apparently in the 5 years that I had not been in a Food Lion, especially the one near my house, most of the cash registers are self-checkout.
Oh.
There's like 2 cash registers that have people. Everything else is self-checkout.
Oh no, mine is not self-checkout. Mine does not have self-checkout.
I was surprised the one by my house was. And now, granted, I live in a good part of the state, but I was not expecting to see that. And I'm like, what the hell is going? Again, I'm a person who does not like to talk to people, right? I don't mind having a self-checkout. But when I look at it, I guess since then, like in this 5 years, I've moved to a pro-labor stance where it's like, fuck my feelings on self-checkout, my personal feelings of, cool, I don't want to talk to anybody. This is great. To where I look at it from, yo, where did all the employees go? I mean, granted, you could sit there and argue like 10 years ago, Walmart had 20 registers and only 2 were open.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, you could just hide, like imagine people getting in and out of Walmart faster if more registers were open.
Yep.
By hiring people instead of just turning all of them to self-checkouts.
Yep. Cause when I tell you, I went, cause like I said, when I went to Walmart, what was it, 2 weeks ago? The big one. And I tell you, nothing irked me, and I really wish I had took a picture, but it was like, there were on one side, there were like 5 rows of self-checkout. On the other side, it's like 5 rows. Used to be, the left side used to be self-checkout, and everything else was like manned. Like it was person there, cashier lanes. And so now it's like doubled on both sides. So then I went to my Walmart. 3 of the 5 lanes were like disabled, like gone. The other 2 people were like lined for the self-checkout. I go to there, and I also call it, because I call it the old lady lines. Not because they're old ladies that are at the checkout, that are like trying to check out. They're manned by old ladies.
The only ones who understand this archaic technology that is a cash register.
Right. It's like have you ever seen the movie version of Battleship? Where they had to like,
I want to say yes, but I don't remember. It's the one with Rihanna.
It's the one with Rihanna. You might remember the scene of them having to like fire up the old Corvettes from the Vietnam era ships.
I don't remember, but I know why, because I remember what the conceit of the movie was.
Right, because it was basically aliens took over and they neutralized.
They had all the electronics.
Right, so they had to go and fire up one of the old analog ships from like the from like World War II and Korean conflict, decommissioned. and literally had to get old men to staff the ship because they had one dude that had to. You have to light the engine with a literal blowtorch to light the engine and then crank it.
Diogen, see the part that they didn't tell you about losing too much is that was a lie.
Yeah, that was.
They had to admit that because they weren't getting rid of self-checkout; they were adding more.
They were adding more.
Like people had that thought. If you were losing so much to self-checkout, why are you adding more? Oh, that's because the loss reports were fucking lies. We made that shit up to add more self-checkouts and to charge more.
It's what's called security theater. It's like it's making the illusion that they're doing something, because again, like when somebody is actually stealing, loss prevention actually jumps in and clocks them people quickly. You know, like the incidents that we have where people think people are stealing are not loss prevention. They are literally people, overzealous employees that would just basically see something and then be like, "Oh, I made a bad call. Today's the day. Today's the day I catch a person." And it's like, no, you failed. You failed, Gladys. You dropped the ball because that person had their receipt. If you'd have talked to the cashier that they went to, you would have known. But you were so clocked to get a cash thing, you didn't let loss prevention handle it.
Today is the day.
Right. Today is the day. Because again, you don't know who loss prevention is until loss prevention puts their hand on you.
So you won't find them. They'll find you.
They'll find you. They are literally the faceless men. Yeah.
So that's a bridge story into gaming news. Yes. Of course, more labor news. EA is pushing office return. EA is pushing office return, largely phasing out remote roles. Mm-hmm. In-person work provides a kinetic energy that fuels creativity. Andrew House says. Mm-hmm. Or is it no, Andrew Wilson? What's he? Andrew Wilson. Andrew House. Wilson, yeah. That was former Sony, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a mouse motherfucker, wasn't it?
Yeah. Who's the kid? I'm gonna look him up, make sure. Andrew House. Yeah, he was there during like 4. He was on the way out of 3. No, yeah. He was in when 4 hit. Then he left somewhere before 5, and then it's like, yeah. Then it was like, then we had like flying Jim Ryan. Yeah.
We need to bring back Ken Kutaragi.
It was good. Ridge Racer. Giant enemy crab.
EA has detailed a new in-office working policy that will see all local employees return to at least 3 days a week and largely phase out remote roles. The changes mean any employee living within a 30-mile radius will be required to commute at least 3 days a week under a new hybrid policy. Employees working outside of that 30-mile radius will continue to work remotely unless their role is designated otherwise, though there's uncertainty over EA saying it will additionally sunset the offsite local work model over the next 3 to 24 months. What the fuck? How do you give a wide ass berth like that? Mm-hmm. 3 to 24 months.
Oh, that's not going to be fusing at all.
It could be tomorrow. It could be in 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Who could say?
Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Staff members this affects told IGN they believe this means existing remote workers will have their exemptions removed over the next 2 years, with uncertainty over any remote working after that time.
This is just a slow layoff. All this is just a slow layoff.
Again, this is what I call malicious management. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not saying it's it's mismanagement. I'm not saying that anymore because it's happening too often.
No, it's not mismanagement.
And on purpose.
This is the cruelty is the point. This is it.
I don't trust multiplayer from any company that can't do remote work.
Mm. Mm. Well,
Now you gotta do that on your off hours now.
I gotta tell you. Got bad news, Merge. uh,
Blizzard, a company that is owned by Microsoft, which I failed to mention before, is a part of the BDS list. Of course, BDS means boycott, divestments, and sanctions, containing a list of companies that are being asked to be either boycott, divested from, or sanctioned against for their complicity in the genocide happening in Gaza and in the West Bank. All that to say that Blizzard's Overwatch team has voted to unionize. Quote, we're not just a number on an Excel sheet. Boy, and good job name dropping Excel. This is the second wall-to-wall union to form at Blizzard since the World of Warcraft team unionized last July. And again, while we may not stand Microsoft here, or at least me personally does not stand Microsoft here, we will always stand the workers.
Oh, yeah.
Always have solidarity for the workers because look, they're only trying to survive. So power to them. Union strong as always.
Oh yeah, I don't understand. I don't stand Microsoft either.
Well, I don't know, Dodgin. I've heard that Overwatch is having a resurgence due to that stadium feature they dropped last month.
Yeah, I heard.
They seem like they're coming back.
Yeah, I've heard about Stadium because it was a well, for what I heard, it was a well needed, well appreciated.
For what I understand, it was that's what people expected Overwatch 2 to be.
Right. Yeah.
Or like if they were going to release Overwatch 2, that's what it should have been.
Mm-hmm. And then just have like Overwatch Classic with the modes and the 6v6 and yeah. That's what I was thinking. Like they go 5v5 for the rest of it. Have classic, have more modes put in. Not saying you're gonna do like a Fortnite, be like a Fortnite and have like games and like a whole bunch of games and custom games, but at least have or custom created content, but at least have enough flexibility in like custom games. Or
I mean, they do.
Yeah, but then also be like serving the people of, I just want my 6v6, man. You know.
So I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to their Overwatch team. Congratulations. Yeah, like it can bash and repair again. If not, then it's a no for me.
Mm-hmm.
Also, yeah, I think like having this news come out just days before that Microsoft announcement kind of sucks too. But
yeah,
again, hopefully none of the folks who were here who unionized were a part of that.
Yeah.
What is this? This error is temporary and doesn't affect the compliance state of the device. Well, as you tell us all the time how important it is to use Intune compliance in combination with core conditional access policies, yes, this is affecting the compliance and therefore the whole security of your devices. This is normal and expected. No, this is an issue. It should be fixed. Nah. In summary, the Syncamol, I don't know what that fuck is, 500 error won't impact the device compliance status during the 7-day grace period. Who allows to access company data, log into OneDrive, Facebook, log in to Azure VPN with a non-compliant device for 7 days? This is a real world issue and must be fixed urgently. This article drives home the fact that compliance checks are not reliable and just accept it's bad. Thanks. The Microsoft part is above. Oh, it folded in the whole discussion here.
It's giving, this is not a feature, this is a bug. Fix it.
Oh, this is a support doc. Oh, I thought this was, so these are comments to a support doc. Yeah, this fuck is stupid, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I'm glad I only used this Windows PC for content creation. I'm sorry, for creating content and playing video games.
That's pretty much all I do. I'm like, we use Windows because we like it? No.
No.
we use Windows because the shit works.
Does it though?
Barely.
You like
barely?
Does it though?
Barely.
Video game companies make key AI concessions in latest offer to end actor strike. Now, I love this. As originally reported in Variety, this proposal is referred to as the last, best, and final offer on AI issues following a last and best offer sent in late April that quickly sparked the SAG-AFTRA counter offer. The latest proposal delivered to SAG-AFTRA focuses on the generative AI sticking points that have been central to the union's demands since the beginning of the strike. Among the changes included in this offer, it eliminates a one-time payment for unlimited digital replica buyout clause, which would have given companies the ability to pay a one-time fee to an actor to own the rights for unlimited use of digital likenesses for a certain period of time. SAG-AFTRA asserts that this type of provision will give game companies undue leverage over the vast majority of actors. Excuse me, damn, I hate this medicine. And that buyouts would serve essentially as a purposeful discount for employers. According to the previous counteroffer, in the new offer, companies will have to pay more in line with actual usage of digital replicas, bringing the pay structure into closer alignment with how actors are normally paid. Takao, you're absolutely right. I mean, look, there are some folks who are part of SAG-AFTRA for reasons that I have made all too vocal that I do not support, especially their president. But as someone who stands in solidarity with the labor movement, my personal politics cannot get in the way of actually fighting for labor rights.
Mm-hmm.
So SAG-AFTRA as a whole, sure. People within it, we can't even pay a one-time fee to own a game these days. Why are they trying to sell a persona for a one-time fee? Exactly. Like, it's like, again, because like you end up with shit like what Sony released with that fucking Aloy AI thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which seems very antithetical to what that game was supposed to be about. Like, wasn't like the overuse of AI what killed the humans?
Mm-hmm.
The company's latest offer was delivered on May 8th, and the union has not yet issued a reply to it. SAG-AFTRA has said that it is working with its members to gauge their feelings on the latest proposal and outline next steps. I wonder where we are with the strike with regards to games coming out. Like, are we getting to a point where that's going to really affect people or affect studios releasing games? Or are we just going to have a whole bunch of silent games going forward for a minute? Or maybe that's why we're getting all these remakes.
That'd make more sense because you already use the asset. You just have to, tweak the vocals, clean them,
Yeah. The people in SAG-AFTRA are bourgeois and believe themselves to be above poor rail workers, and it's just not true. Again, Takao, we live in a capitalist society. That is just how capitalism works. We have to meet people where they are. This is what Lenin teaches us. Simlish is coming back in 2026. Isn't it already back in a game? I could have sworn some game was using like some version of Simlish at one point.
Oh, he never left. Yeah, well, that's just how you do it. Like you'll do like you'll do like, oh, this is how the person sounds. Like you'll do like random voice cues or voice lines, and then a wall of text to articulate it, or you're using like a version of like Simlish gibberish, like Simlish was invented, especially in the confines of Sims, is because you want them to have like conversations with each other, but then you're going to hear like lines are going to be repeated. Somebody's going to say a line again, so that way Simlish kind of like kind of like doesn't cause fatigue when you hear like them converse, when you hear like Sims conversing with each other or absorbing something or listening to music. I've always like when like legit artists have basically remade their songs in Simlish. So that if they were played on the radio, you'd hear like a version of in Simlish like that.
To be fair, a lot of folks who are playing these games do not understand Japanese, and you just play Japanese songs. Like, oh yeah, this song bangs. This song slaps. Wait a second, is this Yu Yu Hakusho?
Is this Small Bomb? What?
Versus we might finally get the Banjo-Kazooie sequel. Yeah.
Gotta talk to Rare about that.
I mean, if we get a Banjo-Kazooie sequel, we will not be playing it.
We won't be playing it anyway. Unless it comes out through Nintendo.
But who makes it though? Rare is an Xbox studio. And Rare owns the license.
Rare can just pass it off. I mean, this says you have the license. It's like Rare's the publisher, but then Nintendo just says, "Here,
Nintendo would have to be the publisher."
Yeah, it'd be like, "You do it."
But I don't think Rare's gonna let that go. Microsoft's not gonna let that happen. Microsoft would sooner have Rare develop it and Microsoft publish it, and just put it on the Switch.
But see, that's the whole thing though. It's like Uncle Phil has basically has broken down that anything can happen now. Like Gears is on PlayStation.
This is an Xbox.
This is an Xbox. Xbox games are going to be on a myriad of consoles. Seeing Banjo-Kazooie on Nintendo is not out of the scope.
This is an Xbox.
This is an Xbox. They point to a Switch too. That's an Xbox.
No. Nintendo made a new Banjo and called it Donkey Kong. So as long as you can feel the lyrics, you don't need to know the language.
Real talk, that is Donkey Kong 64. You think about it.
Music transcends language.
Mm-hmm. Trust me, as somebody who's listening to like what was it, like SAG-AFTRA every Sunday, yeah.
Excuse me. Speaking of Rare and Nintendo, GoldenEye. Mm-hmm. GoldenEye 007 and Quake joined the World Video Game Hall of Fame. Tamagotchi and Arcade Game Defender also joined the ranks.
I ain't gonna lie. Quake in my keyboard. I've had many a fun moment playing Quake and Doom and Hexen in my keyboard class back in middle school.
Let's see. The 4 games chosen have significantly influenced popular culture and video game in the video game industry. Other impactful games nominated for inclusion this year are Age of Empires, Angry Birds, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 4, Frogger, Golden Tee, Harvest Moon, Mattel Football, and NBA 2K.
Special place in my heart for Harvest Moon.
Silly ruin that extra pay is for the shareholders.
He's
He's not wrong.
not wrong, but still.
I love how there are boxes which may contain the games for like Tamagotchi, GoldenEye, and Quake, but for Defender, it's like just this ad.
Yeah.
For Defender.
They couldn't fit the machine in the picture, man.
See, Mattel made a football game. Let's see, Mattel Football. Oh, is this joint?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was back in the day. That was like 70s, early 80s right there, buddy. That was Dad's had that one on deck, man. Classic football.
You can buy an actual fucking case for that shit.
Of course you can.
No, I mean like new. This thing did not exist when the actual handheld existed. This shit's fucking new.
The call, like that football, the call on the field stands. Of course I know. Because Amazon makes cases for everything.
But this is made by Hermit Shell.
Right. Yeah. I told you. Amazon has cases for things. Even emulator devices.
I wish there's not much information about it, which fucking sucks.
I really am surprised. I'm really surprised they're not. Well, I'm sure there are new versions of it.
Yeah, this looks very new.
Yeah. And they make
it says it's back.
Yeah. Cause you know there's money in nostalgia. People like
this is fucking wild, bro.
Yep. And that was it. And that's how we used to while away the hours. Oh gosh, I seen like about 3-4 years ago they brought back the old Tiger Electric games. Ooh.
I would like to try to play one of those again and see if I could actually make heads or tails of what the fuck is happening. Because as a kid, I would like to think I did.
Yeah. I had one of the Game & Watches. It was Donkey Kong 2, I believe.
The original game sensation you remember just as in the 70s, now with improved sound effects.
Mm-hmm. So it's probably more like stereo sound as opposed to like the OG dot matrix. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop.
Why does that look so old though?
It's nostalgia. Technology. Technology. Oh, that one looks a little chewed.
Right.
No, I think they I would consider they had theirs for a while.
It had to be right.
Like, and then they were like, "Hey, let me make a video on this." After I've played this for like a year. But not that one. That one's what chewed. Technology.
All right.
Yep.
So yeah, Mattel football, everyone.
Yes.
I am actually going. I need to. Yeah, I know what the thumbnail for today's show, for this week's show is going to be. Give me a second.
Yeah.
I'm going to add a little note. Because wow, did not expect to see that. That's actually kind of amazing. No, my mom's one now. She can't take care of her electronics. Called me to say she dropped her laptop. I bought her less than 2 years ago. This is why we bought Apple products here and put Apple Care on that bug. Kev.
Yes.
Speaking of old and new games, the Switch 2.
Yep.
It's coming out.
Oh yeah.
We now have spec information for the Switch 2.
Yep.
Apparently the CPU clocks compared to the old Switch. CPU cores, all the ray tracing giblets, all that stuff. Apparently the CPU clock did not change between docked and undocked mode with the Switch, but with the Switch 2, it's like you're dropping. Actually, that's kind of weird. You're dropping the CPU clock when you dock it, but you're getting a 500, like nearly 500 megahertz increase in performance when you dock the Switch 2, as opposed to like 320 when you dock the Switch. Switch 2, you could actually do ray tracing on the go with 10 giga rays a second, but when you dock it, you get 20.
Ooh, let's go tracing the phrase.
Memory bandwidth is 68 gigabytes per second undocked and 102 gigabytes per second docked on the Switch 2, where on the Switch 1 it was 25.6 gigabytes docked and 21.3 undocked. How many gigarays can your 3080 do? How many gigarays can a RTX 3080, I guess, handle? RTX 3080 outputs 10 gigarays per second for ray tracing. Wow. I mean, that's according to Reddit. Let's check Tech Power Up. Okay, Tech Power Up doesn't have that number. I don't know where that Reddit user got that information from. Okay, from this article from Ozark.games, which I don't know, this website doesn't seem like it's loading, so it's redirecting, but I don't know from where. This was also 3 years ago. According to TechSpot, the 2080 Ti packs 10 gigarays per second. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever heard of gigarays. The 2080 Ti does 10 gigarays per second. Yeah, I don't think anybody talks about gigarays. I'm pretty sure Digital Foundry talked about it, and it's like probably laughed at gigarays. It's probably like the teraflops situation all over again.
Yes.
Oh no! Not my YouTube access cookie. So yes, according to that one website, the Switch 2 undocked has the same ray tracing performance of a 2080 Ti.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a step up.
Yeah, I mean, we went from
none.
we went from a NVIDIA Shield to a possible 2080 Ti. So that's a step up. That's a step up.
Let's see. The Switch 2 has 8 total CPU cores with 2 of them reserved, where the Switch had 4 with 1 reserved. Switch 2 has 12 gigabytes of memory with 3 reserved for the system, where the Switch 2 had 4, or Switch 1 had 4 gigabytes of RAM with 0.8 gigs reserved for the system. See, CPU architecture is at 8X ARM Cortex 878C CPU with Ampere GPU architecture with 1,536 CUDA cores, and a memory interface of 128-bit LPDDR5. So I mean, it's packing. My bad. I'm sorry. Please, if I ever start hawking meme coin, know that it's not me. Mm-hmm. Reach out to me on Signal. So yeah, gonna need that dock to get that performance. But I mean, I don't know. Like if you can, I would be. Oh, okay. So apparently this article is referencing Digital Foundry. They're saying that game chat has a significant impact on system resources.
Well, no shit.
Ooh.
You see how janky game chat was looking.
Again,
I was like,
I pointed in Discord, I shared a video that Paul Rudd video that he did for the Switch 2.
Yeah.
The camera feeds are smooth. The gameplay feed is what's choppy.
Yeah.
So yeah, take that for whatever that means, but at least it's not like, at least like if you were doing video chat, that's not going to be terrible.
Right.
I don't know if I want to sit there and broadcast my game behind me on like a little box. Like that doesn't seem normal.
That don't feel right to me. That don't feel right to me. Like it's either, to me it would be either like we either doing like game stuff, or I'm doing like my voice or whatever. But nah. Like cause real talk, Discord exists. Like
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, for a lot of folks, especially if you're playing with family who may not do the game thing. And remember, there are a lot of gamers out there who still do not use Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can see this being that solution. There are people who probably still use PlayStation in the PlayStation system chat or Xbox Live parties and shit.
Yeah.
Well, mainly because they were forced to up until recently, but like I mean, granted, Nintendo finally put their fucking game chat in the system and not as a separate app, but
which when I tell you I never liked that
seemed really fucking stupid,
right? Because like I say, Nintendo has this like weird thing of like doing like woefully obtuse shit when it comes to like, and that just irks me to the core of my being. But anyway,
so Merch says, I hope Switch 2 lets you stream to Twitch. I feel like that has to come, right? Well, no. I mean, yes and no, because Nintendo is also litigious about creating content with their games. So why would they enable you to do that? But also I can see them like being like PlayStation, and it's like, nope, you can't stream this. Stop it. Nope.
Right.
Or like when cutscenes showed up, they turned off the stream.
Oh, listen. When I tell you when I was playing, I remember this vividly because I was playing Knack, which I don't recommend anybody doing this. The only reason why I played Knack is because I made a bet with myself. I played Knack, and there were like the moments where like you would go and get where basically like the secret treasures were. It would stop if you were streaming it. It would be like, this scene will not be streamed. And I'm like, dog, I'm streaming off a capture card. You can see this.
If anything, it'll tell you where they were. So
right.
My PlayStation is acting real funny. I wonder what's over there.
Yeah, it's like, oh, something cool is happening. I know where I need to look at now. Like there would just be moments in the game where if you streamed it at a certain time, it wouldn't let you stream it from it, or it'd be like, hey, this is a cutscene that could be considered a spoiler. We can't. And I'm like, that's stupid.
Wait, the Nintendo Switch one was 2 generations old in hardware when it came out, which would have put it on par with like the Xbox 360 and the PS3, right? No, it wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't.
Well, at least the Xbox, and the Xbox, you could do that.
Yeah. So I say it's an old NVIDIA Shield. It's an old.
I feel like the NVIDIA Shield could have done it.
Yeah, but in the Nintendo ecosystem.
But yeah, I can't wait to see when this hardware comes out and like what the battery life is going to be with this thing.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting with more things. I'm waiting for what Richard's gonna say. I'm waiting for Richard. This
is based off of their video. So and I guess their article about it. So
right, it's their article about it, but it's through the estimations.
Oh, okay.
I'm waiting for it to be out. Like I want Richard to touch it.
So June 5th, wait for Kev's reaction to Digital Foundry's reaction to holding a Switch.
Right. Because we probably will be watching Richard's video. That happens. On twitch.tv/KevinKevShow.
All right, yeah, we got to keep it moving. It's almost 11. We are not speeding running the news this time.
No.
Like we thought.
Lightning round.
Nintendo reserves the right to break your console following unauthorized use in bid to prevent piracy.
Boo! Because it's not gonna stop start piracy. It's gonna. They're gonna mod it. It's gonna happen. Boo.
Update: Nintendo confirms no recording is sent until a report is submitted.
Right.
So basically, just don't be a fucking snitch.
Don't snitch.
Don't snitch.
And again, any emulation, don't be snitch. Real talk. The only people that be snitching is the emulators themselves, or Genki.
Yeah, just don't snitch. Shut up.
It's the only people that really do be snitching are the accessory companies.
Publisher promises its Switch 2 game carts will have full games on them. Shout out to a local game company, Limited Run Games.
We love it.
They have promised that they're going to try to put all of their games like fully on the game cart. Right. That they are not doing game keys like a lot of other publishers are.
Right. And I want to be really clear. And I want to be really clear when I've seen people on TikTok talk about this in a vein, but it's been really sensationalized. It's really up to the developer. It's not a new thing that's happening. It's really
up to the publisher.
It's up to the publisher. So when people say like Nintendo is allowing games your games to not be on thing that is like sensational.
Yeah, because like Nintendo will gladly sell you the fucking cart. Like they make the money off of that shit. They will give it to you.
It's their technology to do that. So, plus we've had like this technology with some games before anyway, with discs having the games and then having half of the game assets and then you download the rest. So, this is not necessarily.
I think in that issue, it's so much like, all right, this was a big game and DVDs were only but so big.
Yeah, DVDs were only.
Because like that was happening like the Xbox 360 and the PS3.
Right.
Like a dual-sided DVD was only what, like 14, 15 gigs?
Right.
But now you have a Blu-ray that you can have a dual Blu-ray, which is about 100. Right.
Yes.
And even then, you still got to download some shit because games are so fucking big with 4K assets.
You got to download stuff and then day one patches. And
yeah.
So this is not new. So I don't understand why people are up in arms about it, because this has kind of been a thing before. But it's new
because
Nintendo,
the game itself, like the game itself, is not on the game key card.
Right.
Like that's where they're having the issue. It's not like part of the game is on and you have to download the rest. So that we like, because essentially what this is like, hey, I can plug this game into my Switch and play it offline. I can go to the store, buy the card, put it in my Switch and play it. I don't need to patch shit.
Right.
With the game key cards, it's you have a key card and you can't do anything with it until you go on the internet and then download the game. That's the issue that they're running into.
Yes.
Yes, you would have that same problem with a lot of these games that did have to download additional stuff from the internet because it couldn't fit on a Blu-ray or a DVD. That was a size constraint of the medium.
Yes.
Here, you can buy as big a Switch card as Nintendo will sell you.
Yes.
It's that publishers are choosing not to save money, which then disables people from being able to play them offline at the point of purchase.
Right. So
that's where that problem's coming from.
That in lines where the problem is, but I'm really truly telling people, like, do not get caught in the sauce that is like
it's not Nintendo's decision.
It's not Nintendo's system. This is up to publishers.
This is capitalism at work. We want we want the thing that's going to cost us the least amount of money. Mm-hmm. And also to drive the point home that Ubisoft is trying to drive home of, you do not own the game.
You do not own the game, yeah. Like, so that's why I'm kind of like, I want people to not get caught up into the whole, this is all Nintendo's fault. No, this is a case. You have to treat this as a case by case. Yeah. And you cannot, because like I say, I'm with you on boo Nintendo sometimes. Like, I'm with you on some of those, but we got to make sure that the hits are clean. And that's something that I'm always 100% like. It's one thing to be like boo Nintendo, but we can't boo Nintendo in this specific. Right. I mean,
again, my thing with Apple. Like, yes, Apple is a shitty ass company, but I mean, sometimes their tech is actually really dope and it's helping people. Yeah.
Right.
It sucks. It's a capitalist company and they do capitalist bullshit. But
right. I have a standing boo Nintendo when it comes to like not saying like emulation as a whole, but I'm talking about full on game preservation.
Yeah. Like this ain't helping. Yeah. Also, like this ain't helping that. The game key cards aren't helping that.
Right. It's not helping that. So I would, and like I say, Nintendo will sell you the key, the thing that will hold all that, but they just choose not to do that because they could just put it on an SSD. I mean, not SSD, but an SD card, a micro SD card. Yes.
Like, again, you're preaching to the choir. I've always jokingly but seriously said that Call of Duty should always just be sold on an NVMe.
Right.
Or for in an Xbox case, it should always be sold on the on that expansion card.
It's like joking but serious.
Yeah. But look, like when you go buy hardware and they give you a free game, nah, just put the game on that hardware.
Yeah.
Like those graphics cards that come with the NVMe slots now. Yeah. Put Call of Duty on that.
Yeah.
It's a Switch. It's the Switch, man. Come on. What are we doing? And also, we're talking about the SDXC. Those are supposed to be the fast ones.
Right. So you know, the micro SD Express.
Like, that is the SDXC.
Yeah. But that's what this is my whole point. Is like I don't. Also, I feel a little piece before we move on. I feel a little piece of vindication when I did state that the Switch one was the most expensive console. I feel like that should have been the bellwether of, more is to come, more is to come, because now that should have been preparing y'all. Like, woo.
I still feel like the Xbox Series S is the most expensive console.
And I agree.
At least until they added more storage to it. But that 512, no. Yeah. That was the most expensive console. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I concur with that. But it's just like it was one of those things like that was like people didn't see it was a problem until it was a problem. Now it's a problem.
Like I was about to actually, I remember that day when you posted that shit, and I was about to I was making a rebuttal, but the math became so fucking convoluted. I was like, man, fuck this. I don't want to fight this. I'm going to bed. I'm going to watch TV.
I'm actually glad you didn't fight me on that, because I wasn't gonna give up on that.
I know you weren't, because I think we talked about it several times after that.
Because I was like, that if that's me being unrealistic, then that's me being unrealistic. Because I'm just saying, like, games don't go down in price, like woefully, like Switch drift with like Joy-Con drift. The Joy-Cons are already woefully expensive. The Pro controller is woefully expensive. That's why there's so many like $40 controllers, because nobody could be able to afford a controller.
I'm just looking at storage and network costs.
Yeah.
Like, look, other than NBA 2K on the Switch, look, Nintendo Switch games aren't that big. But Microsoft, like Xbox titles, again, you're looking at 100 gig plus.
Yeah.
And not everybody got gigabit. And some people got meter connections. And you can't just take your Xbox somewhere else to download the shit.
Totally can't. So, but it's just like, I really do feel like that people are really truly coming to terms that, damn, gaming, like the Switch 2 was the whole canary in the coal mine of like, damn, like games are expensive, yo. Like games are like, damn, games are expensive,
gaming is a luxury. It is a luxury hobby. And it's like, finally prices are getting to a point again where that's being shown off.
Yeah.
Like, it's $60, like the prices fell, and like more and more people could get into it. And it's not to say that people still can't get into gaming, but it's getting prohibitively expensive again, to where it's becoming that luxury hobby. And again, like, people are saying, like, oh, gaming is okay, yeah, AAA game may be dead. You may not be able to play the latest Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto, but there are still plenty of great games out there that do not cost $80 to $100.
Like,
it doesn't require $2,000 PCs to play.
Brother, I have been banging that drum for years. You know this,
and we've all been ignoring you, Kev.
Yeah, and and they've been ignoring me. And
we've heard you, and it's like, okay, we get it. Move on. Damn.
Yeah, it's like, damn, Kev won't ever shut up.
Well, shut up.
You know, indie games are cheaper, right?
Shut up.
I mean, I'm just saying.
No. Get back here, corner. Get him.
But yeah, this has been one of those things. I was like, man, I've been banging that drum for years, and it's like, that's cool. Y'all will listen to me one day.
Will somebody take his drum away? Damn it!
I don't want to.
Sick of it. Sick of it.
I just want to bang on this drum all day.
I'm sick of it. Well, one thing I will not stop talking about is Waffle House.
Yeah. Yes. Oh. See, that's
because I love Waffle House. Waffle House is objectively, I'm gonna say objectively because you can ask anybody and the answer will always be the same because it is 100% true. Waffle House is objectively my favorite restaurant.
Because you get a dinner, a show, and a fight at all in one place.
Indeed. And we've covered on the show before that people have been asking Harada to include Waffle House in Tekken 8.
Oh yeah, he tried.
Well, Harada has been trying, but Waffle House is not answering the phone.
Waffle House said, what are you talking about? What this man talking about? I don't understand Japanese. What are you talking about?
Apparently Waffle House doesn't like the fact that, hey, people associate their brand with places where fights break out. And I get that. I understand. However, that does not change the fact that that is where they happen.
Look, I'm like, I would totally not consider where that Waffle House is place that fights if fights did not happen at Waffle House.
Again, like, you're not beating the allegations.
You're not beating the allegations, my person in Christ. You're not beating the allegations. Fights happen out there. It's like when you put drunk people, high people, and truckers and people of the night in these spaces. You wouldn't be surprised when things break out, when conflicts do arise.
Posting on Twitter early this morning, Harada first kicked off the conversation by responding to a fan asking about where the Waffle House stage was, as we all wonder. Where is the Waffle House
inquiring
stage?
Minds.
Yes.
Inquiring minds need to know. Yeah.
Harada asked his followers if fans would still be happy with an alternative name, stating, if we can't get that house name license, how about we call it Hustle House Stage? Doesn't that make sense to everyone? You know what? Yes. As long, again, and I want to say I said it then too, when we talked about this initially.
Yeah.
As long it is as it is a diner type stage that looks like it could be a Waffle House, I am okay with a reasonable facsimile to a Waffle House.
Right. I'm fine with it too.
Like, what are we doing? I will take Hustle House as long as they are serving what appears to be breakfast items. You don't have to show pancakes and waffles. Just show bacon and eggs. I don't care. You can show an Oklahoma cheesesteak melt. An Oklahoma bacon cheesesteak melt. Because it can't be Texas. That's Waffle House. A Wyoming bacon cheesesteak melt.
Yep.
A New Hampshire bacon cheesesteak melt. I'm just saying, we need, like, it just needs to be a diner type restaurant that serves breakfast food.
Yep. And they could just call it, and they could just call it like Pancake Home and deal with it.
I'll take Hustle House. I don't want any more complications. If Hustle House is available, I'll take it. I just need the stage. I don't give a fuck what you call it. I just need a diner-like stage that is a reasonable facsimile to Waffle House with employees in there with reasonable facsimile to a Waffle House uniform. And what we need to do is get the USSW to sign off on it, because they represent some Waffle House employees. So look, if we can get those Waffle House employees paid through the USSW, like, come on, what are we doing? Let's go. Harada, we are wasting precious time. I have not played Tekken 8 in God knows how long. I will pick up the game again. I own the game. I will play it for real, full time, if we get this Hustle House. We want Hustle House.
Yeah, we do.
Boss of Waffle House, why y'all gotta be like this?
Yeah, answer the man phone calls. Even if it's no, just answer the man phone calls.
Yeah, like Bert, you're right. Like, again, that's all. It has to have the employees. Somebody's got to have a chair. And maybe not a chair, like a stool or something, like a folding chair or something. I don't know. I don't know why a folding chair is in a diner, but look.
Something. You can make it work.
Yeah. Harada, hit me up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it for the exposure. I got a job. I'll do it for the exposure.
No, you will not do it for the exposure. Absolutely.
Kev, this is free knowledge. I want them to have.
No.
I want Harada to have it. It's like insulin. It's like insulin. It was sold for $1 so that way people could just have access to it.
Well, then make $1. But don't.
Okay, I'll make it $1.
There you go.
I will take a yen. 1 yen.
I'm all for like, making, I'm all for like sharing the information for free, but your Harada can pay for it. He can afford it. Listen.
Look.
We don't charge the common man.
He is a worker just like me. Actually, he is management, but
see.
Yeah. Damn. Look,
see, that's what I'm talking about.
Send a worker over and we can talk. Mercedes needs to be like in Mortal Kombat when the stage can actually win. Yes. You get hit with the chair, you get knocked out.
Yep. KO.
If you don't block in time, you get knocked out. This is an old story only because of the fact that it's happened twice. Epic has submitted, pulled, and then resubmitted Fortnite to the US App Store. Of course, this is due to the rule change that Apple had to follow after they got caught in court for lying. However, like I said, they submitted it, pulled it, and resubmitted it, mainly because Apple had, they submitted this like a week ago, and Apple hadn't done anything. So they're like, all right, well, I guess we'll try to submit it again, but Apple is not moving their feet. So yeah, Fortnite was supposed to be in the store last week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But here it is. It's been 2 weeks and we still have no Fortnite on iOS. To call that would involve me having to look at Tekken 8 as much as I have in the past, and I have not. Like if that's any indication of anything, I have not cared about Tekken 8 outside of Waffle House being talked about. Look, it got them in trouble in the first place, but yeah, it's gonna get them their pride. Their pride is gonna fucking cost them a lot. But yeah, again, Apple was not the hero. I mean, Epic was not the hero we asked for, but it's the hero we got, I guess. Valve announces Steam OS compatibility ratings and extension of Steam Deck verified for more devices. So of course, you have your Steam Deck verified to make sure like how games perform on the Steam Deck. This new Steam OS compatibility rating is more or less like for devices like the Lenovo Legion Go S, which is Lenovo's Steam OS version of their Legion Go. This I feel like is going to talk more towards how compatible it is to run on Steam OS and possibly other Linux distributions, or the Linux OS in particular. I may not really speak to hardware performance of the device because they can't really keep track of that. I mean, the only way I could think that they could do that is like if they, tested it on multiple devices, but I imagine that's like bringing in more QA. Valve could technically do that, but will they? Probably not. They could probably just attest to like, all right, how good is this going to run on just Steam OS in general? Also not in here. It was included, but it was taken off given the information that's been kind of made public since the initial story. Earlier yesterday, there was reports that Valve had a leak through a vendor. They were able to, through investigations, people will be able to figure out like where the leak kind of happened and what kind of a leak it was. Initially, it was being reported that people should probably change their passwords and enable two-factor authentication, which I don't know, seems like a good idea at face value, regardless of what happens. But it has come out that what was leaked was like old text messages that were timed, which means that by the time anybody got access to those text messages, they were null and void. And there were no passwords that were leaked. Everybody's data is still technically safe. Which good on that, and it's great. That's fantastic. Again, we'll say that, I don't know, if you hear that there is a potential leak, whether it's true or not, I don't know, still maybe change your password. Doesn't hurt. If you haven't, enable two-factor authentication. You know, not a bad idea in these streets.
Not a bad idea.
Like to have somebody show up and you mention someone, this is fake news. Like, dude, like he was pointing to the article saying like, if you read your own article, like what you say, is it true? My guy, you're referring to an article that it changed since I posted it at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It's 2 p.m. where more information come out, and I have not checked that. I would hope that if you clicked it and you saw that it was updated, if you wanted to let me know, put that there. But don't sit there claim it's fake news when you didn't read when the post was made on Mastodon, you dipshit. So media literacy for people on the internet really needs some work. Also, man, I told you to change your password and enable two-factor authentication.
And I'm the bad guy because of it?
Right. No, Takal, I'm not talking about you. Even though, yes, you did write an article yet again in Discord, but not on DC Analyst, about how that wasn't true. But no, it was not you. This was somebody on Mastodon who did it.
That's because I say, what did you say fuck me for?
Right. I didn't. You just put yourself, you outed yourself on that one, dog. I mean, granted, it's on Discord. Anybody can see that discourse that happened, but I feel like Major would call you out by name if he met you.
Yeah.
Which is true.
No, that's true.
That is very true.
Ruin ain't never lied. Whole names.
Like, no, I don't do drive-bys. I do targeted assassinations on the street.
I'd be like, that person meant that.
I am coming for your neck.
Ain't no splash damage. It's like Major be like Deke with the trench coat from The Wire. Deke coming, yo. I was like, bro, man, coming out there with the long black coat, with the long black coat and the shotgun under the arm. Like, bro, like, and a flak jacket, just coming like, uh-oh.
Like Ruin's like, let me get up. Ruin's like, if he was coming for you, you know.
Mm-hmm. All you hear.
If he was talking about you, you know he was talking about you.
Major coming, yo.
But no, this wasn't you. You did lay that out. But like I did come back and say, yeah, like, because you did that after that it happened on Mastodon, which prompted me to go look and see what the fuck they were talking about. Also, just seeing other people talking about it on Mastodon, where I was like, yeah, I don't know. Again, if somebody just told me, hey, there was allegedly a leak of your password, I'm not asking questions. I am changing the password. Like, I told y'all about what happened to me in my PayPal account. I'm not fucking around. Like, that's just stupid. Why would I play with that? I've seen how much I spent in Steam. Think I'm just gonna give that to somebody? Fuck no. Software updates. Also, Oh, that's right, because somebody didn't write an article. Well, somebody did, and I forgot to include it. Hey, if you do have a Microsoft product, if you do have, if you're running Windows 11, update your shit like immediately. Like, do that. Go do that. I forgot to include that, but yeah, there is active exploits for Windows 11 right now. At least I think Windows 11, maybe 10, but I at least heard Windows 11. So please go update your devices. Yeah, speaking of updates, iOS 18.5 is now available with features. There's a new wallpaper. Parents now receive a notification when the screen time passcode is used on a child's device. So I guess if my son tries to hack into his screen time, I'll know. Mm-hmm. Or if my wife is if she's putting in the passcode, I will know that she did it. Buy with iPhone is available when purchasing content within the Apple TV app on a third-party device. Fixes an issue where Apple Vision Pro app may display a blank screen. And support for carrier-provided satellite features is available on iPhone 13, all models. So yeah, not much was added. This was really like a lame duck update for me. Our screen time where 76% of the time the managed device doesn't show up and doesn't log metrics. Oh, mine shows it, and it shows a lot. There's a lot of YouTube kids and a lot of fucking Minecraft. But there were some security updates that came out. Let's see. The company has now updated its security website to reveal the iOS 18.5 also fixes over 30 security vulnerabilities affecting things like Bluetooth, FaceTime, and more. There's also a fix exclusively for the iPhone 16e for a vulnerability impacting the device's baseband, which means their C1 chip finally got its first update, security update. Where an attacker in a privileged network position may be able to intercept network traffic. 18.5 also patches vulnerabilities affecting call history, Bluetooth, core audio, Apple JPEG, and more. Notably, Apple isn't aware of any situation in which these vulnerabilities were exploited in the wild. So, I mean, that's good news, but don't wait till it's actively exploited, like some companies, Microsoft, to issue updates. I mean, granted, they were probably 0 days over Microsoft, so they probably didn't know, but they maybe did. Also macOS Sequoia 15.5 is available. The only update that seems to be here is parents not receive a notification when a screen time passcode is used on a child's device. Apparently there were some other small improvements like the mail app. 2 new mail features got added, but yeah, who cares? And PlayStation Plus game catalog for May is getting Sandland, Battlefield 5, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. What's that? Full-time edition, I think it said. Soul Hackers 2. Yes, it is full-time edition. Mm-hmm. And Stalkers Legends of the Zone trilogy. Oh, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising and Humankind. Yep. You know, the game that was supposed to be like Civ and kind of is, but just really could not get into it because nothing is Civ 5.
Nope, nothing is Civ 5. I played Humankind and I was like, damn, you know what?
I wanted to like this, but
you know what? I really want to play Civ now. Like, I wanted to just run Civ back after that. I was like, played it for a smooth 2-3 hours, and I was like, damn, I really want to play Civ now.
Story of Seasons of Wonderful Life, Gloomhaven, and for PlayStation Premium, Battle Engine Aquila is available. Apple is the king of waiting 3 months to fix an active exploit. Yeah, that is also true. Yeah. All right, there are 2 Blue Sky posts here. Oh, So I saw this on the Giant Bomb Discord. Man, that fucking sucks, bro.
Like that.
Damn, bro. Not Bungie stealing assets again. Damn. Yeah, I saw some of this shit. There was one where they had mentioned the Control Alt Delete comic Lost, and how that it turned into a meme. And the meme, like one of the meme versions of that comic strip was put into a game, or was put into one of the assets, and then it shows up in Marathon. So this ain't looking great. This ain't looking great.
It's not. It's not though.
Cannot wait to see those see if they come out and beat those allegations.
They're not.
Also, hey, if you were flying in or around Newark, don't do it. Watching Ruin says watching Newark Airport falling apart a month after I was just there got me sweating a little bit. Woo, damn, that's right though.
You beat it. You beat it though.
You beat it though.
You got out there at the right time.
2 consecutive weeks, like a fucking system failure happens, and then as a result, people fucking stressed out because air traffic controllers are like one of the most stressful jobs on the planet. To where people took days off, and then there were just nobody working, like literally, like virtually nobody working in air traffic control because everybody was fucking off, like drinking heavily.
It was basically like it was one of them things where I was sitting there thinking to myself like, it's like it was one of them like, of all the people that you want to like let go and antagonize, you want to antagonize the people that make sure the planes stay in the air.
But remember, like, we have one person to blame for that. Reagan.
I mean, huh?
Reagan.
I was thinking the same thing. We were thinking the same thing.
Because what was it, Petco?
Yeah. Like I say, he fired him and had her rehired, and I was like, you did it once, they could do it again, and he never been the same yet, and never been the same since. Yep.
What was funny was they were trying to reach out to the Secretary of Transportation. Guess where he was?
Yep.
No, guess where he was?
Not Newark.
Oh no, he was definitely at Newark. He was stuck because of it. Stuck. He was stuck in Newark because of it.
Of course he was stuck.
That's the one thing. It's like, oh, not Newark. No, he was definitely there because he was stuck.
Definitely not Newark. Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. Not trying to fix the situation, but because he was stuck.
Can't fix it if you're stuck in it. I'm just you You know, like every day really does feel like a bad episode of House of Cards, or a V episode that was left on the company
or just an Onion article come to life.
Yeah, an onion article that gained sentience.
This is why we shouldn't
became self-aware.
This is why we shouldn't trust AI.
Yep.
What if the AI behind Metal Gear Solid is actually a sentient AI that was being fed Onion articles? So it's been manipulating everything to just do this.
You talk about the Patriots?
Yes. What if the Patriots are just an LLM trained on Onion articles?
This is just a bad Yeah, this would be a bad Patriots, because somehow we get a bad Metal Gear.
one generated by AI that does fuck what it was supposed to do.
It can't even Metal Gear right.
Why is it made out of wood? Why is it talking about white genocide in South Africa?
Why is it 3D printed? Why is it made out of carbon fiber? Hello?
Is that a couch? What is JD Vance doing up there?
Lord Jesus. It's like, it's really like, it really is like that. Like, it's like, we think about Metal Gear Solid Subsistence as like flights of fancy, you know, the Patriots.
No,
you know,
I thought it was flights of fancy until shit started fucking happening.
And then now it's like, we are not that far. And then you're thinking to yourself like, man, we are not that far away from.
No,
not that far away from Phantom Pain.
No, we are in the mid. We are. Oh yeah, Phantom Pain.
Ooh.
No, not Phantom Pain. We are not that far away from Guns of the Patriots.
Oh yeah.
We are currently living through Sons of Liberty.
Yeah.
We are living through Sons of Liberty. We are not that far away from Guns of the Patriots.
It's like Snake Eater has happened. Now we're dealing with it. Like, Snake Eaters happened. 90s was Shadow Moses. Now it's. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, like this is.
Now we're dealing. Now we're dealing with the fallout of two clones beefing. I'm sorry, brothers. Yeah.
Two clones and one that was just there but then easily got dismissed.
Yeah.
How are you the perfect clone and then you just get dismissed in one game?
Yeah. You talking about Liquid?
Yeah, no, Solidus.
Oh, that's right, Solid. Yeah.
Solidus, the perfect clone. Like, how you let B-Rate dude smash your shit in, bro?
Yeah. No.
Like, you were the president and you got your teeth smashed in, bro. Like, what the fuck, man?
You got hit with the I'm right, I'm left, I'm right. Liquid took his shirt off, cracked his knuckles, and folded shit like a pancake.
It's like, dude, like, you were the perfect one, and you still got fucking rot, bro.
I'm like, brother, how you get packed up by a man in a trench coat and no shirt? He's your brother. That doesn't even make any sense.
No, Raiden did that. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
Raiden beat him. That's what I mean by B-Rate. That's what I mean like B-Rate. Like you ain't even the real guy.
It took a pretty boy ninja to take you out, brother.
And he wasn't even a ninja for like 99% of this game.
No.
And it's arguable that he was a ninja then at the end.
And like I said, went through like 1/3 of it naked. What? doing backflips, but with no hands. Like, how?
There were cartwheels, thank you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Cartwheels, no hands. Because he was like, it's like my hands got to cover my Jimmy Johns.
Yup, gotta hold them jiggly bits.
I got to cover my Jojimbas. Hold on, sir. Yeah, this is the Metal Gear. This is the Metal Gear portion of the podcast.
Yeah, but well, before we dive deep into that, let's go and wrap this up. Yo, Kev, what you got going on this week, man?
Well, you know, like it's the little one. It's the little one's honors day. She's going off to another grade. We love it. Feel ever older, ever bolder, ever colder. I'm just starting to get arthritis now.
Just now?
She's getting to 10 now. I'm like,
no, I'm saying you just now getting arthritis.
It's like, but I'm like, no, I feel
been
it.
Living with it. Living with this.
I'm just waiting for like, you know, Butterfly Kisses to start playing. Where Butterfly Kisses at night. So hers is I think it's like Wednesday, early in the morning, because you know I'm going to be the envy of all the father figures because I'm gonna be out there with my DSLR. Because I was there the last couple of honor days, and I'm like, this man brought a camera.
What do you mean camera? Yo, in your trench coat.
Mm-hmm. I got camera and lens.
No, I mean cameras and lenses.
Mm-hmm, lenses. I had to do a lens change. Hold on. I got to do a lens change.
So, hold on, wait. Can you pause real quick? I got to change my lens.
Yeah, I got to change my lens. Hold on. I got to get the telephoto lens. So I'm like literally Maze Hughes from like Full Metal Alchemist.
Get me pictures of Spider-Man.
Yeah, like, yeah. Give me pictures of Spider-Man.
I miss playing J. Jonah Jameson back when we were writing articles for DCA.
Yeah. All right. I'll give you 200. 300. Huh? Like what you were saying? Deal. He was like, he needs the pictures of Spider-Man though. But your wife left the checkbook. That's the best news I heard all day.
Stop. J.K. Simmons, a treasure.
JJ, great dude. Uncomfortably ripped, but a good guy.
Yeah.
Yes. So gonna be doing that. Also, prefacing for the calm before the storm. That is Fantasy Life I that's coming out next week. I think it's going to be out Thursday, but I'll probably be playing it maybe sometime over the weekend. Because time and things and stuff and things. Also, are we still good for Split Fridays tonight?
As of this moment, yes. Like I said, always check up.
Yeah.
Just prior to.
I will check up tomorrow, but I'm just like, are we fast track? Are we on the road for that?
Yet again, I have to keep this one on me. This is my work phone.
Yeah.
This has been by my side for the past 2 weeks. I hate it. I really do. But and like I said, I am primary this week, so they will come for me first.
I'll be called and I must answer. So got that. So probably got that going. Probably just mostly like the lead up into summer because I don't have a lot going on in June. I have a few things in June, but I don't have as much things in June. Family obligations got canceled in June, so it's probably just gonna be like do those two things, and then don't have to worry about it. And then June is just like the day-to-day stuff. Outside of that, I think outside of that, it's not much particularly going. That's pretty much it.
Let's see. For me, tomorrow, not much of anything outside of Split Fridays. Work willing. Oh wait, no, there is one other thing. Apparently we're supposed to like do this meet and greet thing with this summer camp that summer day camp that Caden's going to. That should not impede with Split Fridays. Because I looked at the calendar invite, said, look, can we just like go at the beginning, get what we need, and then fucking leave? I'm not about to stay here the whole 2 hours. I got shit to do.
Is that?
So yeah, that's happening. Saturday, I'm getting the herd did. Finally, I'm finally being proactive about it instead of like letting it just look unruly, even though it looks very unruly now. Finally being proactive about it. Then we got Twitch Raleigh meetup after that. And then Nakba, the Al Nakba Memorial Rally and possible march. I don't remember if there is a march or not. And all that's happening Saturday. Sunday got some outreach stuff going on, so more door knocking, talking to people about, hey, capitalism sucks. You should be a socialist, but not that direct because no, more or less talking about this law that's being passed, force police law enforcement agencies to work with ICE, and fuck that. No ICE in our state. Outside of that, I don't think I got much else going on. Okay, yeah, we got one more news day before Thursday, so yeah. I don't have to worry about a video game being played on the stream for a bit. Well, outside of tomorrow, but not Thursday. That's when the pressure hits. At least Friday, yep. I know what I'm playing. Thursday, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's usually like, all right, what we feel like.
But yeah, well, I guess I'm looking forward to Monday morning when I am officially off of on call. I guess that's off call. Nice. To where I don't have to worry about people calling me in the middle of the night. I swear I wake up in the morning and say, did I miss a call? Did I miss a call? Oh my God. But nobody is called. Like even last weekend, I left my phone at the house and realized this. Oh shit, I left my phone. What did they call? What do I do? Went back home. Ain't nobody called.
Mm-mm.
Son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Ruin. Thank you. Again, hopefully, I've like not a lot of things have been happening like off hours and stuff like that. It's rare that shit blows up. I am just hoping that, especially this week, because I've got so much shit going on that was planned way before I even was put on the on-call schedule. And it's things that I can't move around, that I'm hoping that nothing happens. But it's like, I feel like because it's me and because all this shit's happening, that something is going to blow up and it's going to cause me to just like, it's going to wreck the entire weekend and I'm going to be like fucking pissed. But yeah, I'm hoping that is not the case, or at least it just holds off till Sunday. Not that I don't want to do outreach, but you know, making my voice heard. And yeah, I don't know. Look, I'm still afraid of knocking on people's doors.
Mm-hmm.
But it is great exercise. Joining the Swoletariat. But yeah, outside of that, I think that's it. That's all we got. It is almost midnight. It's 20 till midnight.
Yeah.
We did not speed run the news.
No, we didn't.
We failed horribly.
Yes.
We'll do better next time. No,
yes. No.
Bob, thank you again, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for May 15th, 2025. Remember, we honor all our martyrs, free our political prisoners, free Palestine. Of course, if you are joining us live and you like to listen or watch previous episodes, you can go to majors.house/TTT for the audio version and majors.house/TTT-vid for the video playlist on YouTube. Of course, if you're listening on either YouTube or listen to the audio version, you can come join us live Thursday nights, 8:00 p.m. twitch.tv/Major Linux. Of course, you can join the Discord, majors.house/Discord, where you can join in on the conversation, talk about, you know, what politically ails you and how capitalism is the fucking worst. Or I don't know, just shoot the shit. Cause we do talk about video games from time to time, but mainly it's just man, capitalism sucks, and it sucks for our favorite hobbies and interests.
Yes.
And that's how you can get in contact with all of us here on the show. Hit up the Discord. Oh yeah, majorrevolutionary.com. That's where I write my thoughts, my journey, or write about my journey into socialism as a worker. How to navigate that space, especially as someone who works in an industry where it is purely profit driven. Well, every company is purely profit driven, but you know, for my industry in particular, yeah, it's fucking gross. So yeah, how I navigate that and kind of how I navigate the world around me, especially with, again, all the interests that I partake in. Definitely go check that out. Again, it's a Ghost platform. Ghost, almost like Substack. They have you pay for subscriptions, whatnot, to newsletters. That's not what's happening here. Again, if you would like to subscribe to the newsletter, please do that. I don't care. Again, I advocate for RSS feeds. I would like for people to kind of read and engage with engage in a way where I guess you come find me and talk to me about it. There's no comment section for any of this shit. Or at least I don't think there is. I haven't found it if there was. But yeah, definitely, please, we can have discussions about it, talk about it. And, I'm always keen to hear other people's thoughts and opinions about, what this is like for them in this capitalistic hellscape. Because it's important. It's important to hear multiple voices when it comes to this shit. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Thank you all so much again for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. On behalf of Kevin Kev, on behalf of Sin, on behalf of the GOAT, Idiosanaka, I'm your boy Mark Summers, Major Linux, twitch.tv/Major Linux. Again, this wraps up another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for May 15th, 2025. Of course, you all could have been anywhere in the world, watching any stream in the world. You could have been playing, you could have been reading the tech and gaming, you yourself, but you said, no, thank you. Have you heard of this white genocide? And for that, I'm saying, go home, Grok, get drunk. And all I've got left to say to you wonderful people is that no one is going to save us but ourselves. You saw the crosses. Oh, Grok confirmed. I have no idea what the crosses mean, but okay. No one's going to save us but ourselves. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I love you. And peace. How?
Wakanda forever.
Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty.